Ladies and gentlemen, tap, tap, tap. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, the show, so we're going to get started.
It wasn't my
Onto the countdown screen. Get your cocktails ready. If anybody's even there still, I don't know. I'll tell you the story in a minute. I don't even know if we're on. No, we're on. All right. On to the spot. Word from our sponsor.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve.
All right, enough of this. We're on with the show. Let's go. Oh, there's our Zoom screen. We'll close this out. I don't know why that's even there. Close this out. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, I am the Old Humble Guy, your sin merchant and spirit guide for, the foreseeable future, I hope. And to my right, there we are, is... is the source of my... it says missed frame. I'm not missing any frames due to rendering lag or anything. I don't know what the fucking problem is. I don't know. I don't even care anymore. It's beginning to piss me off is what this is. All right, so we have 45 minutes before we have to swap out. So.
I see 21:52.
Is it 21:52? Maybe it's just because I started and hadn't admitted you in yet. Anyway, we'll get through with the first thing. So, Lisa, how you been doing?
I've been doing okay. I've been staying busy and, working and getting little projects done around the house.
Fantastic. So at 9:02 p.m. tonight, my wife says, "We have problems at school."
Problems at school?
So.
Is that what she said?
Crisis. The thing that I had to resolve tonight at 9:02 p.m. I had to resolve something tonight at 9:02 p.m. because it just couldn't possibly wait.
Now you know why I don't like having clients.
But but for real. The job of a parent is to do parent stuff, and I got to be, I got to parent the shit out of this situation, which is cool. This table's in the wrong spot. Hold on a second.
Oh, so it wasn't crisis at her school.
Oh, no. This was a brewing crisis, and teachers losing documents, a notebook that got stolen, that apparently got found, and the grade got fixed, and, there are more important things than YouTube shows, which simply means that I parented the shit out of this. You have to do parenting things sometimes. When parenting things are,
I don't.
Well,
I don't have to do well.
Some of us are.
No, sometimes I have to parent you.
Some of us are fully formed grown-ups, and we have kids. So that's just how it works.
Child-free by choice.
I'm some nights, some days. No, I'm kidding. We're the opposite. Child present by choice. I mean, that's why we have, we had the options, obviously, because we were adults before the Christo-fascists took over the Supreme Court and took away human rights from people. But we had the choice, and we chose. We made that decision, and we have kids, and I am happy to have kids. Just need to remind my kids sometimes that,
Just make sure I never got pregnant.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I just need to remind my kids sometimes that we chose to have kids, and like they were not oh my God, we're what moment. And that if they need stuff, they can come to us. They can talk to us. We're here for them. That's why we're here. They're not feral. They're ours by choice. I wonder. I'm going to try something real quick.
I don't know. That lefty sometimes.
He is very much a
kind of feral.
He's a little feral, yeah, but he's not unkempt feral. He's just like a little wild, that's all. Just a little.
So cute.
Just a little wild. So that's it. He's not a feral human being. He's just he's got a lot of life in him, is what it is. He's got a lot of life to him. Okay, so this is what I just did. I turned off the screen on my small monitor, and everything is on the big monitor. And I'm wondering if that's going to help fix the rendering issues that I've been experiencing. And we will find out.
Okay.
We will find out. Okay, so Lisa.
Yes.
Tomorrow night we're doing a watch party of the University of Houston football Cougars. Oh, we have 827 subscribers, by the way. Over here in my upper left-hand corner.
Awesome.
It was 826 earlier today, 823 yesterday, and I don't remember what it was at the beginning of the month. But we are.
I think it started with the 7 at the beginning of the month.
We're growing. The channel's
growing.
continuing to grow, and I appreciate my new subscribers. If any of my new subscribers are watching now, I appreciate your support. We tend to have fun, so expect fun. Expect fun from us. I'm going to take my logo out of the
Well, fun from you.
Yeah, Lisa does not like to have fun. Fun is not something that Lisa does. She is, if it's not scheduled, she chooses to not do it. So she is no fun. She is a radar detector on the dashboard of your car as you're driving at the speed limit, and it just goes off randomly and makes your entire drive very anxious. Fair?
Yeah.
She's the one who says, "Do you have a fire extinguisher?" Like, I'm just cooking eggs with a blowtorch. Why do I need a fire extinguisher? What could possibly go wrong?
Part of my job, big part of my job, is to keep Joe from setting things on fire.
Well, you do that most of the time. I've said very few things on fire that didn't have it coming.
But every once in a while,
Yeah, if it gets lit on fire, it had it coming. That's all. It had it coming, and it deserved it. That's what I'm saying. Bimbo Barbarella's in the house. She is currently surviving a hurricane over there in windy Florida.
Oh, goodness.
We also have, there it is. We also have sunflowers in the house from the sunny state of Iowa. Tim is in the house. Who else do we have? Who else have I seen pop up? This Lisa person just jabbering the whole time.
Yeah, well, I would.
Where's the whiskey guy? Yeah, Bimbo, I'm right here. Lisa, I'm right here. I had to put out fires. That's what I do. That's my job, is put out fires.
Sunflowers. I like to use a lot of different colors of pens. Have you seen my pen collection? What? What are you laughing at? Is that some joke that I don't know about?
We talked about pens last night.
Did you?
We talked about pens last night and how I hate, because we talked, well, okay, it started off as the blue beard when we passed 750 subscribers and I dyed my beard blue earlier this month. It was 750 subscribers by our last.
I did not see a blue beard.
Yeah, we know you didn't because it was gone. Okay, so finishing sentence. So when we passed, it was 750 subscribers by the end of my last broadcast in August. We hit 750, and I said, okay, I'll dye my beard blue. So we dyed my beard blue. Beard blue was either the next week or the week after. I can't remember which week it was. It was probably the week after that because the next week was September, like anniversary week, and I don't think they did any shows. Fuck, 10 minutes. Okay. Close that. Okay. So, and they asked about the blue beard. Yes, I dyed my beard blue, but it was gone by the end of the night. As soon as the camera went off, I went and showered and got the blue out of my beard because I hated it. I absolutely, the entire night, it was like just, I felt it being blue on my face. And here's the thing. I hate blue ink. I hate blue icing. I hate blue ink. I don't like blue ink on my fingers. I don't like it on my skin. I was anxious the entire night, worried that my skin would be dyed blue underneath the fur. And it was actively driving me completely bonkers that entire night. I was able to keep it all in check. But then that went on to a discussion about not just blue ink and blue food coloring, but blue foods. I'm not a real big fan of blue foods. And blue pens. There was an entire stretch of time where I did not use blue pens because I just hated the blue ink, the risk of getting the blue ink on my fingers and on just I hate it. You may not know this about me, but I have like weird things.
I'm like, I thought I had weird things,
but no, there was a legit period of time where I did not use blue pens. I would not use blue pens, and even to this day, blue, black, and red only if I'm correcting something. If you hand me like a lavender pen or a pink pen or a green pen or something like that to sign off on something that needs my signature, like hand me a bill in a restaurant with a green pen, I'm going to lose that pen and go look for a real pen to sign documents with. That is just ridiculous to me that people use pens of odd colors in like a real life environment situation, like signing their name with fuchsia. Why? Just sends shivers down my spine thinking about
sunflower. I like to use lots of different colors.
Now, see, that makes sense. Color-coded day planners and stuff like that. My color-coded day planner is black ink. There it goes. I write in black ink. I write in pencil until it's confirmed, and then it's in black ink. Or blue, depending on which pen I pick up. But most of the pens I have are black. In fact, the pen I have on my desk right now is black. I'm not a pen. I'm not a colored pen guy, unless it's blue. Then I'll use blue. I'll use a blue pen now. I've grown. I use blue pens. I sign my bottles with silver. You've seen that.
Yes,
silver, gold, black.
And gold.
You know how many bottles I've signed with a blue pen? A blue Sharpie, a blue ink pen? Exactly 0. You know how many I've signed with a green pen? Exactly 0. You know how many I've signed with a color other than silver or gold or black? Exactly 0 bottles.
So I prefer to sign with either purple or turquoise.
I have my
turquoise is my color.
Yeah, but I have my
labels is purple.
My very specific slotted like lanes that I tend to stick to, and that is one of my very specific slotted lanes. The color of pen that I use: blue, black, silver Sharpie, black Sharpie. Now there is one time I actually used a green highlighter. I had a yellow highlighter, a green highlighter, and a red highlighter in a document that I was editing and adjusting and correcting. So there was a purpose to the color coding, a specific purpose to the color coding. I don't remember what it is now, but it was like these things have to be moved and changed. And I had notes on the side. Notes in the
So,
margin. That's another thing that I don't do. I do not write in books. It drives me absolutely nuts when I see people have written in books. Ugh. I'll put Post-it notes in my book. I'll write on a Post-it note and stick it in the book. If there's a thing I want to remember, Post-it note. Writing in the actual book itself, ugh, that drives me
Mrs.
crazy.
Hopkins likes turquoise and purple as well.
Mrs. Hopkins did what?
She likes purple and turquoise as well.
No, see, that's fine, and I'm okay with that.
Sunflowers even has scented pens.
Mm-hmm. Oh, scented
Yeah.
pens drive me crazy. If your writing stinks, I'll know it when I read it. I don't need to smell it too. It's fine. And that's fine with
Sunflowers,
me.
I don't know who
They
you are
can
yet.
they can write with whatever weird psychopath colors they want to write with. They can have their letters smell like raspberries and strawberries if they want to. For me, my documents are going to smell like paper. That's it. And if I want to if I want to make sure that I'm using if I'm signing a document and that I have the original signed document, I'll sign my document in blue. If I'm going to fax it over to you or scan a copy and send you a copy, I'll sign it in black. Or if there's duplicates. This always drove me absolute crazy at the bank. They'd send duplicate contracts, duplicate trust agreements to sign off on. So you could sign one, sign the other, and send the other back to them. And then they'd say, just scan it and send it to me. Like, why did you send me two copies of two sets of paper if I could just scan it and send it back to you? This was stupid. It'd just take a second set and throw it in the trash. These people just anyway.
Sunflowers, Joe did not tell me who you are.
No, she is our friend from Illinois. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
What shade of blue? Blue pen. That's the shade of blue. Blue pen. There's no shades of blue. There's blue. Blue. That's it. If you're talking about a shade of blue, it's no longer a blue pen. It's a specific type of pen.
She is
We're not
right,
gonna play
though.
this game.
They're like,
Nope.
you're wearing blue.
Nope.
The logo is blue.
Yep.
There's a lot of blue.
That is true, but there's one blue pen, and that is the blue pen that you get in the store when you buy blue pens. That's blue. And if it's not blue, it says so. It's like light blue or green blue or whatever blue. There's blue pen. Blue pen blue. That's it. And oh, God help you if you get a blue pen and you start writing with it and it's not that blue and it's like, ugh, you just take the whole pack and throw it in the trash and go get some more pens.
I have a light blue. I have a turquoise blue. I have a dark blue.
Okay, well, we're about to lose the video feed. I'm going to reset and then we'll...
light turquoise blue.
You ready with Unhinged?
I'm ready with Unhinged.
All right. So we'll keep going until they actually kick us off. I got about 2.5 minutes to go before they kick us off. And then I'll fire it back up and we'll go with Unhinged.
Okay.
Unless you're ready now.
Good.
Those are a lot of weird blues.
I like them.
And you got like 19 of them, don't you?
No, I just have one set of these.
And I told Sunflowers last night that my the blue was definitely in my top 8 colors between red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, purple. Blue is definitely in that top 10.
Okay.
And they very astutely pointed out that was just all the colors. I'm like, yeah, there's also white and black.
These are the Tombow twin tones. They're super awesome because this tiny little nib on one end, and then
that's like a highlighter though. That's not, or a felt tip pen.
That's not a highlighter.
That's a felt tip pen. That's not a pen.
Yes, it is a felt tip pen.
Yeah, that's not a real pen.
Felt tip pen.
Yeah.
And then these are Tombow water-based pigment ink. Fundanosuke pens. So anyway, they're brush pens, so they will create different widths and different pressures.
And for calligraphy, that makes sense, but I don't write with calligraphy. I just write like a normal person.
And then I also have these Pentel color pen fine points,
Mm,
so which are kind of in between the Tombow
no,
nibs.
no,
So
no felt tip pens for me. And the reason I don't like felt tip pens, there's a practical reason I don't like felt tip pens because I write in my notebook all the time, and if I write with a felt tip pen, it bleeds through the paper.
well, then I guess you're just not using very nice paper because
Yeah, I am.
my felt tip pens don't bleed through my paper.
Well, your felt tip pens are clearly substandard because my felt tip pens are beefy and strong.
No, my paper is better than
But
your
I don't use
paper.
felt tip pens anymore because I'm a normal person. I don't use felt tip pens. I use like normal
You are
pens
not normal.
with ball points, and and there was a period where where's my nice fancy pen? Where I showed this off last night. I like collected pins, and I would have nice pins, and this pin in particular. And the problem we're not going to upgrade. We're just going to restart the damn meeting. There we go. You see, I showed this pin off last night. The problem I had with collecting pins was that eventually they run out of ink. And when they run out of ink, you have to replace the ink. And I bet I look weird. And yeah, I've got this wide screen. This big wide screen. All you can see are my eyes. But Lisa will be here in a minute. This will all normalize. It'll be fine. Anyway, so Lisa's coming back with, there she is. She's coming back with Unhinged. Unhinged Chronicles being the ongoing saga of Lisa. There she is. She's coming back with Unhinged. That is something. The ongoing saga of Lisa outing weirdo dudes on, is it Bumble this week or is it Hinge again?
I collect my material from Bumble and Unhinged, and Bumble and Hinge and Facebook dating.
Right, all three.
So
well, excellent.
They get all mixed in. Like it's not.
I get you.
Yeah.
Multiple people can share screens. So you're set.
A little bit of a few different things. Okay.
You are set.
Yeah. Well,
bring up chat.
Sort of. Find my stuff here.
Oh, Bimbo's watching the Dolphins game tonight.
Okay.
Mrs. Hopkins is in the house. She has joined us from the pool side of whatever resort she's staying in this week. Thank you for joining us, Mrs. Hopkins. Let's see here. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
There we go. I forgot we had a private chat over here on Zoom.
Oh. Okay. Things make sense now.
Yeah.
Got it.
Shade of blue.
So.
Okay, Unhinged Chronicles. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm watching. I can see chat over here on the right side of my screen, and I can see Unhinged over here on the left side of my screen. Lisa, get jiggy with it. Hang on, let me adjust the aperture here for Unhinged. Make it bigger. Zoink and zoink. Let's go. All right, you're full screen now.
Yeah, well, almost.
Mm-hmm. You're all set.
Oh, nicely done. Okay, nicely done. So, I want to take you back in time.
Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Very good. To June. Okay?
June of this year. Gotcha.
June of this year. June 16th of this year.
Okay.
When we had this episode of Lisa's Unhinged Chronicles. Remember this episode?
I remember that guy. Yes.
Okay. And do you remember this guy?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And do you remember this guy?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All three of these guys have shown up again.
No kidding?
No kidding.
Oh, that's
Like within
funny.
the last 2 or 3 weeks.
So you've gotten to the end of Hinge, and
I
you're hitting replays.
no,
You're
I
the
think
rerun
it's
season.
like no, I think it's in different. I think they're coming from different apps.
Okay.
So, like this guy, I don't know what the guy with the shorts. I don't know what app the original
Guys,
photo is from,
Jesus.
but he is in my Beeline and Bumble now, and I'm like
What is a beeline?
back. That's where people who want to match with you are.
Oh, I got
They're
you.
waiting for you in your Beeline.
Oh, like a beeline, like
So
zzz, bees. Gotcha.
yeah.
Making a
So
beeline to you. Gotcha.
I
Okay.
thought I would bring this back to chat because this guy wasn't particularly egregious. He just had some nice shorts on. But
That dude is something.
and then like the guy with the earpods, he disappeared somehow. So I'm thinking he probably met somebody and decided to get off the app.
Okay. Yeah,
And
these
good for
apps
him.
are intended to be deleted at some point.
Exactly. Well, at least Hinge is.
Right.
That's their tagline. Who, the other one who looks like he's, drinking the fountain's urine, I swiped left on him again. Oh, like, no. Just, no.
Yeah, but really, if you come across that fountain and don't do that, then I'm seriously got questions about like you as a person in general. Because really,
So I thought I would see if chat had any feedback on this. Like,
cat.
did I give this guy another chance?
Oh, chat had it. Gotcha. I think you should swipe right on all these weirdos.
Joe.
Hey, you catch more fish if you throw out more nets. You never know.
Okay, so this week's Unhinged.
Hey, that's me.
Do what?
Your screen went away.
Oh.
Oh, you went back to that old episode. You're loading up this current episode. Gotcha. The guy in the shorts reminds me of a Jersey Shore dude, says Mrs. Hopkins. That is not a high compliment.
Did not watch Jersey Shore, but I'm gonna go with that's probably not a good match for me.
Probably not a good match for you.
This week's episode of Lisa's Unhinged Chronicles. Let's see. This guy me as like paradise.
Oh my.
Paradise.
He's got good abs.
Yeah, dude is ripped.
Yeah.
Also, wearing nice shorts.
Those are some tight shorts. It looks like he. It looks like he pulled. It looks like he pulled it up into a wedge, though. Good Lord. As long as you don't mind your boyfriend spending a lot of time in the gym.
Right? So, this guy, I want him to be my new best friend.
Yeah?
He's gender fluid. He cross dresses.
Is that her? Is she him too?
And yeah. And
wow,
damn,
he makes a good looking chick.
Do my eyeliner like that.
He makes a good looking chick.
He really does.
That dude with glasses is that chick without glasses.
Do what?
That dude with glasses is that chick without glasses.
Yeah.
So
Like, these are all the same person.
you showed her without being covered, but not him.
Yes.
Okay.
I wrestled with this for a while, but anyway. But seriously, I'm like, the makeup is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I need this guy to be my new best friend.
Interesting. Oh my.
So this one,
It is my imagination for
this is what I imagine when you say "Te quiero grande la
I
yegua."
like
Like, I'm too much of a horse for you, female horse, too much of a mare for you.
oh,
So I was like,
who's
what?
is that what women I've never had a girl say that.
Okay,
I'm
so
too much of a
there,
mare, too much of a horse.
there is a song by Alicia Villarreal, and it's called "Te quiero grande la yegua," and like, I don't totally understand it, but the gist of it is
Te quiero grande la yegua. All right.
I was too much for you, and you didn't deserve me, and blah blah. So, but yeah, this was on somebody's profile, and I'm like, so I'm confused.
Yikes. I don't.
So clearly, this guy is just horsing around and not being serious about finding somebody.
I don't even know what to. I mean, okay. What guy puts that in his dating profile? I mean,
I don't know.
what are you looking for, dude? Oh man. I mean,
I don't know. But I will say that's not the guy.
what? The horse is not the guy, or the guy's not the guy?
The guy's not the guy.
The horse is the dude in the profile.
No, like neither one of these are
Oh.
anybody in the profile.
Oh, so that's just a random picture he found
It's a random picture. It's like it's some sort of meme.
I still have even more questions now. Dating apps are weird. I'm so glad I'm married. Good
So
God.
anyway,
Okay.
this
Lisa, you
this
picked
is
a
not
bunch
this
of weird
guy's
ones this
bedroom.
week. You picked a bunch of weird ones.
Yeah.
So this is
That's kind
dude
of the
who
point
just
of this, right?
so you had a dude who picked a picture that wasn't even him of some meme, and a dude who picked a bed, just a bed. Just put a bed in my profile picture. Not even my bed, just a bed. And a dude who's a crossdresser.
Yeah, I mean,
and then a dude who
kind of
has
looks
very
like
short
something
shorts.
from Z Gallery or West Elm or something.
Jesus. You've had a weird week.
Indeed.
Okay. And finally? Or we have two more? Alejandro.
Alejandro.
Feel this up
Alejandro
later.
is very optimistic that he's going to get to second base.
I feel this up later.
I think you meant I fill this up later, but no.
He's got nice shoes, I guess. I don't know. Good Lord.
Yeah, those look like they're nice shoes.
I don't even know. Oh, man. Okay. Is he the... Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
What?
I don't... How do you pick the weirdest... The bottom of this barrel? This barrel is... Jesus. What is gender fluid?
We have the guy who thinks it's going to be paradise to date him.
Man.
I'm like, dude, you're really overselling it. Even with that body, you're overselling it. So
he spends a lot of time with himself. He should know. Okay, so you have the musclehead.
Got that guy. Got the guy who's going to be my new bestie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really the best.
I think he's probably the best one of this bunch, to be quite honest.
He is totally the best one of this bunch.
I mean, he's like,
So
he's honest,
he does
at
not
least.
win Bumblebee of the week by far. Like,
Ugh.
nearly swiped right on him just to say.
Just to swap.
Teach me how to do the eyeliner.
Oh my goodness.
Then we've got wild horses, and this is not your room. Not that I want to see your room, but that is not your room.
Yeah.
And the guy with lots of optimism that he's going to feel this up later.
I think if I had to vote, and I don't, but if I were voting, I think I would go with the optimistic guy, the last dude, Alejandro, who matched with you, because
I did not match with him.
Yeah, but he liked you. That's what it was. He liked you. He didn't match with.
Yeah.
See, I'd go with that dude simply because, like, okay, Musclehead is fine, but at least he's a little honest. Those two dudes, the first two dudes, are like, they're putting it out there. They're being honest. And, you know what Musclehead is showing off. He's got his short little shorts that he pulled up his butt crack to show off his little package there. Your new bestie there. I mean, those two dudes got at least their shit together. They're like, this is who I am. This is what we got going on. The next two dudes, I don't even know if those are real profiles. I mean, it's hard to tell. And then like the last dude, he's just like, what's up, baby? Like, yeah, you're a dirtbag. You're just a weirdo dirtbag.
It's tough between the horse guy and Mr. Optimistic.
Yeah. So we got in chat it's an open, it's C, D, and B. C, D, B, throw an E for me, and then oh my, it's a four-way tie. It's the kind of tie that Mr. Paradise would have loved. It's four-way, baby. Goodness. Lord Almighty. So I guess it's up to you to pick out to break the tie, Lisa. Or no, I guess it's up to me because I can't vote for E. I have to vote for D, C, D, or B, I suppose, don't I? Ugh. D, B. I would have to go with the wild horses guy because that picture just creeped me out. I mean, cool if you like dressing up like that and being a My Little Pony cosplayer. Fine, that's fine, but it still creeps me out.
So there was this guy who had. You okay?
No, I was gonna say
you need to shake it off.
Like the idea of like putting on vinyl, like wearing those vinyl bodysuits, just gives me just totally skeeves me out because we're in Houston. How do you wear that shit? I mean, you've got to. How does that not just stick to you with sweat and you just become like one of those pressure packets in the oven that like steams your food? How do you not get cooked?
I mean, baby powder is really your best defense.
Yeah, but even, I mean, that turns into like paste at some point. Yeah, wild horses is my bet. Okay, so what were you saying, Lise? Sorry.
Oh, so there was this guy who actually had a pretty good profile on Bumble.
That guy?
Oh yeah, that was my do we give this guy a second chance? But I just I went back to grab his photo and looked at the rest of that show, and I was like, wait, all these guys have come back. So anyway, this guy, he says traveling, coffee, building computers, intellectual conversations, long romantic walks to the fridge. I thought that was pretty funny.
Wait, what? Oh, it's a joke.
Long romantic walks to the fridge.
No, the next thing, the oldest computer can be traced back. I'm like, what?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then I realized it was a joke.
So long romantic walks to the fridge was cute, but this Yeah, the oldest computer to be traced back to Adam and Eve. It was an apple, but with extremely limited memory. Just one bite, and then everything crashed.
Yes, Sunflower, they're all in Texas. That is, yeah, he's a clever comedian. Haha.
Okay, that's our palate cleanser for tonight.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
thank you.
All right. Well, shall we get on to trivia?
We should get on to trivia.
Time to get on to trivia? Let's get on to trivia. How much time do we have left? Probably, I don't know. Do you see the timer? Should I reset the thing?
We've got like 20 minutes left.
All right. So I'll give the rules. We'll do the first round and then I'll reset it. How's that sound? If you're in on trivia, put in the comments in chat over there, wherever it is. I think it's over there on that side of the screen. Put into chat that you're in. You're in for trivia. Let me go over the rules. Here in my hand, I have 5 rounds of questions. There are 9 questions in each round. I will ask each question twice in a nice, steady cadence so you can hear the question and have time to think about it and answer it. But then I will move on to the next question, and you will need to answer the next question as we go through. You will not have time to Google it. You will not have time to phone a friend. You will not have time to ponder the deep recesses of the mind of the universe. You will simply have time to answer the question. If you don't know it, you're just going to have to skip it and move on. When you answer the excuse me, when you answer the questions, put the number of the question and then your answer, and then the next number and then your answer, so that we know you're answering question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Put them all in one chat line or one comment line in chat so that all of your answers, all 9 of your answers, are in a single comment post in chat. That makes it much easier for us to track them down and find them, and we don't have to go scrolling all across the horizon to find all of your answers. Finally, you do not lose points for wrong answers. You only get points for correct answers. The last round is worth double the points, and all names have to have a first and last name unless otherwise noted or commonly accepted as a one-name individual, such as Madonna or Cher. And in the case of presidents, we need a first name, or presidents, we can accept the last name unless there are multiple presidents with the same name, like Adams or Roosevelt or Bush. And I don't know if those are answers. You're just going to have to deal if it comes up with that. So people who are in...
How many rounds do we have tonight?
Say what?
How many rounds do we have
5
tonight?
rounds. The questions are in English. The answers should also be in English unless otherwise noted. Because I can't read foreign languages. There's a bug. Get out of here. I think that covers everything. No collaborating. Don't call out answers. Or you can call out the answers if you want because you're at home and nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear you scream because you're in space. At the end of the last question, I will put 45 seconds on my timer here on my clock on my phone, and we will. You'll have 45 seconds to post your answers, your string of answers. If you have any questions that need repeating, please let me know, and I will do my best to repeat it a third time. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's wait for Sunflowers to come back from the potty. I get it. Sunflowers in a potty. It's like, because she's a plant. Get it?
Got it.
Jesus Christ. I saw a name today called...
So, do what?
I saw a name today that was Lily Rue Sta, S-T-A, last name Sta, first name Lily Rue. And I'm like, I really hope that this person is a male chicken. And the clerk looked at me and she said, what? I'm like, Rue Sta, male chicken. This should be a male chicken. She's like, stop talking here. And she gave me the package and I left. But it was definitely worth the effort on my part. I was very proud of myself for just a moment. Sunflower's back. So we have, what do we have? 4? Miss
We have
Hopkins,
Mrs.
Bimbo, Tim,
Hopkins,
Sunflowers.
Bimbo Barbarella,
Anybody,
Tim,
anybody else?
Sunflower.
Anybody else? Anybody else? I think that's everybody. We got 6 in chat, 4 in the game. Add you and add me. That's 6. Okay, let's play, kids. Round 1. Question 1. Let's see here. What is the special round? Special round is round 2. Movies from the 2000s is the special round. Is that it? Then we have sports and games, history, culture, and geography and general knowledge. All right, so we're set. All right, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, round 1, question 1, time for trivia. Let's go. General knowledge. In the Harry Potter books, which prison is guarded by Dementors? In the Harry Potter books, which prison is guarded by Dementors? Question number 2. What gemstone is fossilized tree sap? What gemstone is fossilized tree sap? Question number 3. The 100 Years' War was fought between England and what country? The 100 Years' War was fought between England and what country? Question number 4. Who provides the voice of Puss in Boots in Shrek 2? Who provides the voice of Puss in Boots in Shrek 2? Number 5. What is the collective name for a group of lions? What is the collective name for a group of lions? Question number 6. Which Greek word, meaning departure, is the name of a book in the Bible? Which Greek word, meaning departure, is the name of a book in the Bible? Question 7. What is the name of the main character in the Tomb Raider series of games? What is the name of the main character in the Tomb Raider series of games? Question number 8. Flour cooked together with fat is known as what? Flour cooked together with fat is known as what? And finally, question number 9, the last question of round 1. Vodka, ginger beer, and what make up a Moscow Mule? Vodka, ginger beer, and what makes a Moscow Mule? That is 9 questions in round 1. Onward to the timer, which is 45 seconds. Starting now, you have 45 seconds to post your answers or forever hold your peace. We will point at you. We will mock you. We will shame you. We will tell you that you are less than what you would have been had you posted your answers. If you do not post your answers, and now you only have 20 seconds, 25 seconds to be exact, because 45 seconds comes fast. That's what she said. There's now 30 seconds. 45 seconds is almost done. Post your answers now. Mrs. Hopkins is joined. She's posted the answers now. We have Mrs. Hopkins, Sunflowers, Bimbo Barbarella, 5, 4, 3, 2, Tim.
Tim,
There he is.
thank you.
He was going to be the first victim of the shaming. All right, answer time. Round 1, answers. Answer number 1, Harry Potter books is the prison in Harry Potter books is Azkaban, A-S-K-A-B-A-N, Azkaban, or whatever, Azkaban. Gemstone fossil that is fossilized tree sap is amber. Amber is fossilized tree sap. Also, a lady who cleans our house occasionally. The 100 Years' War was fought between England and France. France is the answer to number 3. Number 4, who provides the voice of Puss in Boots? That is Antonio Banderas. Antonio Banderas. The collective name for a group of lions is a pride or a salt, S-A-U-L-T, or a troop. Pride, salt, or troop. All three are acceptable. Looks like everybody said pride. Is it all pride? Pride.
Sunflower said den.
No, den, sunflowers.
And then Mrs. Hopkins.
And Mrs. Hopkins skipped it. That's fair. What Greek word means departure? That would be Exodus. Number 6 is Exodus. Number 7 is Laura Croft, the main character in Tomb Raider, played expertly by Angelina Jolie. Roux, R-O-U-X, is what flour and fat cooked together is known as. That would be a roux.
I will accept a wide range of answers.
The answer,
that.
I mean, it's roux. That's what it is.
It's roux. It's gravy. It's tortilla.
Gravy adds water. It's not just fat and flour. It's water too to make gravy and seasonings. Roux is a specific thing that goes into a pot before you make a lot of Cajun dishes. Roux, R-O-U-X. Roux.
Yeah, but it's also something that you make after you cook things and there's fat left in the pot.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you add other stuff to it to make the other things. Flour, fat, and then other stuff. But if you have flour and fat, you start with roux. That's what it is. It's roux. And in the broad scheme of things, it's not going to matter. But the correct answer is roux. If you want to accept
that is not the correct answer.
If you want to accept incorrect answers, then that is between you and your God. The answer is roux. That is the only correct answer.
That is not
vodka, ginger beer, and what makes up a Moscow Mule? That would be lime juice or lime. There you go. And gravy and roux is not the same. Thank you, Sunflower. Gravy is not roux. Roux is definitely different. You don't put gravy in gumbo. That would be ridiculous. Safety Doc's in the house. Cheers, Safety Doc.
What do you think it's cooked in?
You don't put gravy in gumbo. You put roux in gumbo. You start with a roux and then you add other stuff.
No.
Yes. You can look it up. What is roux? You look up what is gravy. Gravy is not roux.
Read that question.
The question is, flour cooked together with fat is known as what? It doesn't say flour cooked together with fat and a bunch of other ingredients. Flour fat,
together with fat,
roux.
That's also tortilla.
A tortilla is flour, and it's basically flatbread.
No.
A tortilla is not flour and fat. It's other stuff.
Is.
It's other stuff.
No, it is flour and fat.
I bet there's water in a tortilla.
Nope.
How to make tortilla? Did anybody put tortilla?
And you know what?
Did anybody put tortilla? Hold on, before I even bother looking it up, did anybody put tortilla as an answer?
Nobody put tortilla.
So it doesn't matter.
But I'm telling you, it's a bad question.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Because everybody got roux except for one person who put gravy, which is incorrect.
2 people put gravy.
Which is incorrect.
It is not incorrect.
Gravy is not fat and flour.
Written question.
Let's see here. I'll look it up. What is gravy? I'll give you a recipe for it too. Gravy is a sauce made from cooked meat juices together with stock and other ingredients. Not fat and flour. Fat and flour are the 2 ingredients that go in roux. Roux is fat with flour. That is it.
That go into tortillas.
Nobody put tortilla. You can accept tortilla all night long as an answer to this question, and it will make zero difference because tortilla is not the correct, or is not an answer that anybody put. The answer is roux.
It's still a bad question.
And nobody puts gravy. You can look up any recipe in the entire universe for gumbo, and none of them will say start with a gravy. If any recipe that says start with a roux, everybody knows fat, flour. Make it, scorch it on the bottom of the pan, make the roux, then add the ingredients. There's it. I can call my mom right now and say, "Hey, mom, if we're making gumbo, do we start with gravy or do we start with roux?" She's like, "That's a stupid fucking question."
That's not the question.
And then if you say, "Well, it is a question," because
No, it's not the question.
if roux and gravy are the same thing, then
No,
they would be interchangeable.
that's not the question. Not the question.
Right. The question is, what is fat and flour? Which is, the answer is roux. Okay, we got to reset. We got them all.
That was that question because there are other things.
It's not a bad
that
question
are
if
just
you.
fat and flour.
It's not a bad question if you know what roux is.
You know what else is fat and flour?
It's only a bad question if you don't if you think roux is interchangeable with other stuff, and it's not.
I don't think that roux is interchangeable with other stuff. I'm telling you that fat and flour come together as other things.
If you add other ingredients, but if you just have fat and flour, it's a roux. It goes in the bottom of the pan. You heat it up. You start. That's how you start your dish.
Make a fucking roux.
That's how you start your dish.
It's still a bad question.
If you say so.
I say so.
But it's not
and
gravy.
I'm the final arbiter of questions.
But it's not gravy.
Question.
It's not gravy, and nobody else thought tortilla was even remotely correct.
Tortilla.
There's one answer. One answer that's acceptable is roux. Gravy is not acceptable. It is not gravy.
I'm accepting gravy.
Well, I'm awarding prizes at the end of the show, so.
Based on the points that I calculate.
Yeah, and I can always deduct the points myself. What's that?
You have to keep them first.
Subtract 1 point from. In the grand scheme of things, it's not really going to matter unless they're 1 point apart. But it is definitely not gravy. That is incorrect. Even Sunflower knows it's incorrect. Although I think Sunflower put roux. Did she put roux? Or did she skip it? Yeah, she put roux. She misspelled it, but she
misspelled it.
No, see, that kind of roux is what I'm going to fight when we get 1,000 subscribers.
Right.
Who else am I subtracting from?
Safety Doc. I think we need to do that on October 4th because on the other dates I'm going to be like 7 hours ahead, and yeah.
All right, so we need to reset.
Weird.
We need to reset. Sunflower says to read the comments at Lisa. I need to scroll up to find them. Tortilla, round, thin flatbread of Mexico made from unleavened cornmeal or less commonly wheat flour. Where else? Oh, Bacon didn't know I was live. It's Thursday night, man. Of course I'm live. Bacon, gravy and roux aren't the same. Gravy and roux are not the same. Anyway, we need to reset. We got 2.5 minutes.
That goes into the tortilla flour to bind it.
But it's not roux. All right, let's reset, and then we'll come back for round 2. What are the points, by the way? We got 2.5 minutes before we have to reset. What are the points?
Mrs. Hopkins has 5. Jumbo Barbarella has 8. Tim has 9. Sunflower has 7.
Okay. Excellent. 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 With a tight race at the top. 9, 8, 9, 8, and 7, and 5. That's a tight race all around. All right, let's reset, and we'll be right back. Or Lisa will be right back. I'll be right here. And come on. What's happening? There we go. All right. Boom. In the meeting, restart the meeting as you continue to hear my beautiful voice. Start. Come on. And we will be back with round 2. Oh, my camera switched over. That's interesting. Or did it? No. There we go. Okay. It didn't switch over. It just did the thing. All right. So we're going to go on to round 2. Lisa will be back in just a moment. We'll get on with round 2 and get started. Round 2 is movies from the 2000s. Movies from the 2000s. Round 2, question 1. Let's go. There's Lisa. Round 2, question 1. Which villain did Liam Neeson play in Batman Begins?
Round 2, question 1.
There it is. Which villain did Liam Neeson play in Batman Begins?
Round 2, question 1.
Round question number 2.
Hang on just a second.
Yeah, I know. I'm hearing myself in the background. I'm like getting confused from what I'm saying versus what I'm hearing. Who voiced Remy?
No, wait. Let me show you what's going on here.
Oh, okay. We got to see what's going on. This is okay. Hold on, everybody. Put your pencils down.
Okay, we got to see what's going on. Okay, hold on, everybody.
Is it on the TV?
Aw. Yeah, so
Your cat's
I
watching
use
me.
the
Kitty.
TV to see what's going on, but Huckleberry was sitting in front of the sensor, so I couldn't.
Oh, so you couldn't mute it?
No.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay.
Anyway, yes.
So y'all have
watching TV.
Y'all have had time to look up question 1, but that's fine. Everybody knows that one. Question number 2. Who voiced Remy in Ratatouille? Who voiced Remy in Ratatouille? I guess it'd be the movie Ratatouille, since it's movies from the 2000s. In what country, question number 3, in what country did Tony Stark get kidnapped in Iron Man? In what country did Tony Stark get kidnapped in Iron Man? Question number 4. Who portrayed Eileen Wuornos, a prostitute who became a serial killer in the movie Monster? Who portrayed Eileen Wuornos, a prostitute who became a serial killer in the movie Monster? Question number 5. Which movie about a man saving over 1,000 people during the genocide crisis in Rwanda earned Don Cheadle an Oscar nomination? Which movie about a man saving over 1,000 people during the genocide crisis in Rwanda earned Don Cheadle an Oscar nomination? Number 6, because he was in the movie, by the way. They didn't just randomly hand out an Oscar nomination to Don Cheadle because he was in like some other movie. He was in this movie, the movie that Don Cheadle was in, about a man.
Are you sure?
Yeah. That's how Emmys work, or Oscars work. Number 6, Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy was set in what city? Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy was set in what city? By the way, I hate that movie.
I've never seen it.
It's so remarkably dumb. Number 7, a guy and a girl fall in love. One of them makes a bet. The other is writing a story for Composure magazine. What movie is this? Let me read it in my movie guy voice. A guy and a girl fall in love. One of them makes a bet. The other is writing a story for Composure magazine. What movie is this? Such a dumb movie, too. I think it had Heath Ledger in it. But it had Julia Stiles. She's amazing. Anyway, number 8. What is the full name of the third X-Men movie called from the 2000s? What is the full name of the third X-Men movie called from the 2000s? That is how the question is written. The full name of the third X-Men movie called from the 2000s. So
the questions are so poorly edited.
Yeah, that was badly written. Full name of the third X-Men movie.
Who was that one from the first round?
No, that one was written well and accurate. It's just some people just decide that gravy is roux and they're cuckoo birds. The movie City of
Tortillas.
God takes place in which city? The movie City of God takes place in which city? And that is the 9th question. 45 seconds on the clock. Y'all really should have these answered by now. And so help me God, if one of y'all answers gravy for one of these questions, I will personally come to your house and slap you. That would be pretty funny. What on earth is that? What is that?
What?
In your hand, what is that?
It's my phone.
Oh. Well, I just saw the bottom corner of it. I didn't know what it was. Looked like a little plastic case of something. Case of plastic something. What is the full name of the third movie called? God. Seriously. Oh, I don't have my chat open. I can't even see what's happening. From a few weeks ago, Perth, Australia, a man who's been keeping a wild kangaroo as a pet was killed by the animal in southwest Australia. Well, that's because he's not good at fighting kangaroos. He's not as awesome as I am. That's why he got beat up by a kangaroo, because he sucks. All right, that is 45 seconds. If you have not posted your answers, then may God have mercy on your soul. We've got Bacon answered. Miss Hopkins, Tim, Sunflowers, Bimbo Barbarella. She answered gravy. Bimbo, first one, gravy, and Betty White. She went and edited that. You went back and fixed it. God. Oh no, Sunflowers. I'm going to be fighting a full-on kangaroo. These mouthy little bastards over here at this aquarium, sitting there whistling at my girlfriend as I walk by. I'm going to smack the smirk right off his face is what I'm going to do. And again, most of the knowledge I have of kangaroos comes from Bugs Bunny cartoons. So, there's that. Round 2. Question 1, answers for the questions. The villain Liam Neeson played was Raja Ghul. The voice of Remy in Ratatouille was Patton Oswalt. Tony Stark got kidnapped in Afghanistan. Number 3 is Afghanistan. Number 4, who portrayed Eileen Wuornos in the movie Monster? That was Charlize Theron. They refer to her as a serial killer, but I think she was more of just like a mass murderer. I don't really think she was a serial killer. I think she only killed like 3 people. But I guess they weren't all at the same time, so I guess it was a serial killer. Anyway.
That's a serial killer.
But she was definitely a prostitute. Number 5. Which movie about a man saving over 1,000 people during the genocide in Rwanda earned Don Cheadle an Oscar nomination because he was in the movie? That would be Hotel Rwanda. Great movie, by the way. Absolutely fantastic movie. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, was set in San Diego. Number 6 is San Diego. Number 7, a guy and a girl fall in love. One of them makes a bet. The other one is writing a story for Composure magazine. That is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And the bet was, I can make a girl fall in love with me. And the story was, I can drive a guy away from me. And hilarity ensues.
That was not Julia Stiles.
Yeah, it was. Wasn't that Julia Stiles?
No.
Who was it?
Kate Hudson.
Was it Kate Hudson? Oh, Julia Stiles is still
I'm pretty
awesome.
sure that wasn't Heath Ledger either.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie that had Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger. 10 Things I Hate About You.
10 Things I Hate
10 Things I Hate About You is what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Still, Julia Stiles is still awesome. Absolutely fantastic. She's amazing.
She is.
Full name of the third X-Men movie called from the 2000s. And that would be X-Men The Last Stand. Number 8, X-Men The Last Stand. And number 9, the movie City of God takes place in Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro. All right, that was exhausting. But yes, that was 10 Things I Hate About You with Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger. Apparently, I don't remember How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but I remember the plot. It was a stupid plot. it was a younger version of What Women Want. No, not What Women Want. How could it? Could oh, geez, the one with Jack Nicklaus and Helen Hunt's breasts. Jesus, what was the name of that
As
movie?
good as it gets.
As Good as It Gets. That's it. Yeah, when she goes,
Or,
when she runs through
or is
to,
it Pay It Forward?
no, it was As Good as It Gets because she goes through she goes over to the dude's house in the rain, and she shows up in her t-shirt that's like drenched like to the skin, and you can see Helen Hunt's nipples. The most memorable scene in that entire movie. And it's like they didn't like just leave it there, like just assume it's not there and ignore it. She pulls her shirt forward like this, like that was part of the scene. She just pulled it forward like this. So they made it classy. They made it very classy. But it was a great movie. It was a great movie. That came out in the 90s, though. That was not a 2000s movie, if I recall. Pretty sure that came out when I was in college. Anyway, uh, did Safety Doc post answers? Safety Doc's not playing trivia. He's too sophisticated for trivia. He has a doctorate. Like, I have a PhD. I don't do children's games. I'm kidding, Safety Doc. You don't laugh like that. Oh, Lord. So what do we got? How we doing? Anything? Mrs. Hopkins got Charlize Theron right.
Okay. So,
Huh. Uh-huh.
Bacon got 0.
Good job, Bacon.
Hopkins got 2. Bimbo Barbarella got 2. Tim got 2. Sunflowers got 5. So, Bacon has 0.
He was half right on number 5. Bacon was half right on number 5. Red Rwanda versus Hotel Rwanda. He was half right. Give him half a point.
Mrs. Hopkins has 7. Bimbo Barbarella has 10.
I don't know what would be more
11.
insulting, ending the game with 0 points or half a point.
Sunflowers has 12.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, X-Men to the max. That's a good one. X-Men to the max.
Yeah, Tim's wrong answers are pretty good. Like David Ogden Sears was Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast. He was dead by the time Ratatouille came out.
Oh, Lord. And Sunflower says gravy's going to be the answer to everything she doesn't know now. Great. See what you did?
And
See what you've done?
Budapest Hotel is very much not Hotel Rwanda.
All right. So anyway, not. Yeah. See, it's fine. Sunflower. Lisa will take gravy as a correct answer even when it's wrong. So you just, if you don't know the answer, just put gravy. That'll be that. You can ace the rest of the competition. She's gonna slap the piss out of me tomorrow at the bar.
Tim, do not encourage Joe.
What was this? What did I miss? Tim? What? Is Tim encouraging me? Guys and nipples. I have to scroll back up to see Tim now? What? Nashville Zoo has a walk-in area where you can be right. Oh, no shit. Nashville? I don't want to go to Nashville, though. I mean, I could. It's only like a 12-hour drive. But they got kangaroos right here down the street. They're right here. I can bust up a kangaroo right here in town. And they've got a really short fence in front of those kangaroos, too. It's like a wooden fence. I can just jump over it. They could jump over it, but they're lazy.
Okay, good. I am not saying that gravy and roux are the same thing. I'm saying that the question was bad.
Saying that they're interchangeable. Fat and flour, and you accepted gravy. Sounds like it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, round 4. Let's get on with this. We've got 2 more rounds. Well, this is round 4 because we skipped round 3. So this is round 3. Halfway through. Let's go. All right, round 3. Question 1. Sports and games. You'd be $5 to fight a kangaroo. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll put it behind a paywall. We'll see. Sports and games. Round 4. Question 1.
Round 3.
Round 3. Hang on, my lovely wife is going to bed. Love you, sweetie. Mwah. We'll talk about it in the morning.
9 zeros on the scraper.
The older one?
No, no,
Oh.
Right. We're talking the last.
All right. Well, Jesus Christ. So once again, it's 10:38, and my lovely wife takes this moment in the middle of our show to tell me that our youngest child is missing some scores in math. Because, like, what the fuck am I going to do about it right now? He's not even awake. We can't even yell at him. All right, round 3, question 1. If you score an albatross on a par 5 hole, how many strokes did you take? If you score an albatross on a par 5 hole, how many strokes did you take? Of all the team,
I'm glad that you decided that question twice needed the same chuckle.
it absolutely did. Of all the team, Jesus Christ, of all the team in the 4 major North American sports leagues, which team has retired more jersey numbers than any others? Of all the teams in the 4 major North American sports leagues, which team has retired more jersey numbers than any other? Number 3, how many points are there in a backgammon board? How many points are there in a backgammon board? Number 4, where did Joe Montana play NCAA Division I football? Where did Joe Montana play NCAA Division I football? How many Tour de France titles? Number 5, how many Tour de France titles was Lance Armstrong stripped of? How many Tour de France titles was Lance Armstrong stripped of? All of them is not the correct answer, by the way. There's a number, a single number, that is the answer. And not one. It's not a single number as one. That would be, I didn't want to mislead you on that. It's a single number, like a number, a digit.
Can you send me these questions beforehand so I can edit them and then
No.
send them back to
Number
you?
6. What relation was Flojo to Jackie Joyner Kersee? What relation was Flojo to Jackie Joyner Kersee? Number 7. Which NHL team is named for a WC Handy standard? Which NHL team is named for a WC Handy standard? Number 8. Which country hosted the Summer Olympic Games in 1976? Which country hosted the Summer Olympic Games in 1976? And that is a country, not a city or a province. Which country hosted Summer Olympic Games in 1976? And number 9, what name did former NBA player Ron Artest change his name to in September 2011? What name did former NBA player Ron Artest change his name to in September 2011? 45 seconds of the clock. Let's go. No, sending these questions to you ahead of time requires a level of preparation that I am not willing to do. I will just read the questions as they are written. And, you know, how many Tour de France titles was Lance Armstrong stripped of? Like all of them? I could see, like all of them. Yes, he was stripped of all of them. It is a number that they're looking for. A singular number, but not one, because that is the only singular number. It's a number. How many was he stripped of? I was just being specific. That's all. The question didn't have to be rewritten. Just, I was being specific for that particular
At
question.
least you weren't being Pacific.
Oh, right. That would be a whole ocean. A little salty. All right. That is 45 seconds. Post your answers now, or may God have mercy on your soul. All right. Number one. If you score an albatross on a par 5, you've taken 2 strokes. 2 strokes for an albatross on par 5. Of all the teams in the 4 major sports leagues, Boston Celtics, the answer number 2 is Boston Celtics. They've retired more jerseys than anyone else. Points on a backgammon board. Number 3, points on a backgammon board are 24. 24 points on a backgammon board. Number 4, Joe Montana played at Notre Dame. He played at Notre Dame. Number 5, number of titles, Tour de France titles that Lance Armstrong was stripped of. The answer to that is 7. He was stripped of 7 titles. He won 7 Tour de France's. He was stripped of 7 Tour de France's. Tour de France titles. And he sent back exactly 0 of those yellow jerseys because he told them to fuck off. Number 6, the relation Flojo to Jackie Joyner Kersey. That relation is sisters-in-law. They are sisters-in-law. NHL team named for a WC Handy standard is the St. Louis Blues. The St. Louis Blues is the answer number 7. Number 8, the country that hosted the Summer Olympic Games in 1976, Canada. Canada is the country that hosted the Summer Olympic Games. Not Montreal, not Toronto, not Quebec, not British Columbia, not Edmonton, not Alberta. Canada. That is the country in which those places are located. I don't know which one it was in 1976. I think it was Montreal. Might have been Toronto. I don't know. I don't pay that close attention to Canada. Love those guys. Feel sad every summer when there is Blues Melt. But anyway, Ron Artest changed his name to Meta World Peace. Meta World Peace. And the answer key spelled meta wrong. Jesus. World Be Free, good one.
Okay, what was number 1?
Number 1 is
How did
2.
2 people get World Be Free?
I don't have any idea. The answer to number 1 is 2. 2 strokes for an albatross on a par 5. 2 strokes. 2 strokes.
What was number 5?
Number 5
Oh, that was
was
Lance
7.
Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong won 7 titles and had them stripped.
I think Bacon got 0.
Really? Again?
Mm-hmm.
So here's a fun fact. Meta World Peace misspelled Meta when he changed his name to Meta World Peace. Because Meta is M-E-T-A. He spells it M-E-T-T-A. Unless there's like a reason behind that. He's now later to Meta Stanford Artest in 2020. He's changed his name since again.
Hmm.
So does meta mean world peace? So meta with 2 T's is a Buddhist term that means loving kindness. So he only misspelled meta if you think he's using the other meta.
I don't think he's using the other meta.
He's using the right meta for that spelling. Anyway, JLM is in the house. Cheers, JLM. World Be Free may also be an NBA player, but he's not Ron Artest. Not that NBA player. He's a different NBA player. I don't know who he is, but he's not Ron Artest. Oh, so people just call JLM Jim. That's fair. In Pali language, closely related to Sanskrit and spoken in northern India. Metta means positive energy and kindness towards others. Metta with two T's. Fair enough. Also, Buddhist term. It means many things in different languages. Are we good? You got the points?
I do.
Okie doke. We get one more round probably. Before, well, maybe we might be able to finish this out. We might be able to do 2 rounds if I don't screw around too much.
I need to go let Lily in her room, I think.
You need to let the Willie out or in?
No, I think in. I think she's been in my room and she went in her room.
Lisa's gonna go off camera real quick and let the Willie in.
Lily.
Oh, Lily, not the Willie. Gotcha. Never mind.
Lily.
It was
like
funnier when I
flower.
said it. All right, we don't know what the score is yet, but I guess I can move on to round. Where are we at? Round 4, the penultimate
Taking
round
that
of.
0, so keep solid 0, and then Mrs. Hopkins didn't get any points, so I think she stayed at 7.
All right.
And then Turbo Barbarella got some points, and
Well, we got 2 rounds
Gunpowder got
left.
some points, and they're tied at like 13 or something.
That's fair.
And then Tim made a comeback, and he's at 16.
Okay. Well, we got 2 rounds left. The second round, the last round, is worth double the points. And Jim, just for your edification, if you want to participate, you're in. You're already whatever. Your fees to enter the game have been paid. Congratulations, a benevolent dictator has given you the fees to play. All you do is put your answers in one comment thread, one comment line, separated by the number for which you're giving the answer to, and hit enter.
At the end of the round.
That's it. Yeah, at the end of the round, after I've asked the 9th question. And this is round 4? Yeah, this is round 4. History, culture, and geography. 9 questions. Here we go. Let's go. Question 1.
That you said pastry, not history.
Yeah, it's pastries, culture, and geography. Of which religion is Brahma? Of which religion is Brahma? Number 2. In what year did the Battle of Hastings take place? In what year did the Battle of Hastings take place? Number 3. Which 1975 film starring Jack Nicklaus and directed by Milos Forman was the first since 1934 to win all 5 major Academy Awards? Which 1975 film starring Jack Nicholson, Jack Nicklaus is a golfer. Which 1975 film starring Jack Nicholson was directed by Milos Forman was the first since 1934 to win all 5 major Academy Awards? Number 4. What was renamed the Congo in 1972? It's a dance. What was renamed the Congo in 1972? Jim, all the answers go in a single chat or a single comment line, separated by the number. Please. Because otherwise they scroll all the way up on the screen and we can't track them. Where were we?
And, people will steal your answers.
Right. Number 5. In what country would you spend shekels? In what country would you spend shekels? Number 6. Who seized power in Uganda in 1971? Who seized power in Uganda in 1971? Number 7. In which country would you find Botany Bay? In which country would you find Botany Bay? Number 8. What country's people worshipped a god named Anubis who had the head of a jackal? What country's people worshipped a god named Anubis who had the head of a jackal? It was his head. He didn't just like carry it around in a satchel. It was his head was the head of it. Anyway, number 9, in 1976, the city of Saigon was changed its name to what? In 1976, the city of Saigon changed its name to what? That is the final question of the round. We put time on the clock. Where's my clock? There it is. 45 seconds. Answer it now. Now. Post your answers. And there we go. We have 10 minutes remaining. Just like that. I imagine there's more than just the people of that one country worshipped Anubis. I imagine there were people in countries surrounding that one country too. But, it's just splitting hairs at that point.
Mm.
And I'm sure you can spend shekels outside of that one country that they name. I would think. I mean, I'm sure they accept shekels in multiple countries. I would think. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's 45 seconds. Post your answers or else. Are we all set? We have answers? I'm on a phone. It's hard enough to oh. That's fair. That is true. It is hard to type on a phone with just your fingers there. All right, answers to questions. Let's go. Of which religion is Brahma? Hinduism is Brahma. Hinduism. Number 2. What year did the Battle of Hastings take place? 1066. 1066. Reed Hastings was the founder of Netflix. Number 3, 1975 film starring Jack Nicholson was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Won all 5 major Academy Awards. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Zaire changed its name in 1972 to the Congo. What was renamed the Congo? Zaire was renamed to the Congo in 1972. It's a great dance. Shekels are spent in Israel. It says, or Palestine. We would accept Israel or Palestine. 1971, number 6, 1971, Idi Amin. Idi Amin took over Uganda. Number 7, in which country you find Botany Bay? That'd be Alaska. Or
What?
Not Alaska. It's Australia. Alaska's not a country. But I looked at Australia and I went, Alaska. I'm reading Australia right there, and it said Alaska. Australia is where Botany Bay is located, but we'll accept Alaska. Anubis. Anubis is a god in Egypt, and technically he's a god everywhere else too. But the people in Egypt worship Anubis and other countries, but Egypt is the answer. Anyway, Ho Chi Minh City is the name of Saigon. Number 9 is Ho Chi Minh City. There you go. Shekels were ancient Judea. Yeah, there you go. Do they use shekels in Israel now? What is their currency in Israel? Is it Israeli dollars? Is it shekels? I don't know. Hey Siri, what is the currency in Israel?
The new shekel is the currency of
It's a shekel. It's still Israel. Oh, how about that? I had no idea. I don't go to Israel very often and spend money in Israel. But I imagine you could spend shekels in the United States too. I imagine. There's places you can go. I imagine you could probably spend shekels in the European Union. There's like an exchange rate, but you could probably just bring your suitcase of shekels. Should I go ahead and reset Zoom now? While you're tallying?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Lisa's over there whacking the tallies. We'll reset Zoom, and I'll come back into the meeting momentarily, I'm sure. There it is. Just like that. Join with audio. There you go. Zoom is all set up again, and I'm filling your screen because, woo! All right. And the last round is worth double the points. that is it's worth double the points. And as soon as Lisa comes in, we'll get a update on the points situation and the leaderboard, and we will know which one of you fine folks has a chance to win my love and adoration tonight. I'm pretty sure going into that last round, it was pretty tight between the top and bottom of the roster board. And I think we're now about to get some news from Miss Lisa. I hear me in the background of her apartment.
Yeah, I just muted you.
You can't mute me.
I
Even
can
in
on my
silence.
television, and it is a beautiful thing.
Even in silence, I will fill the room with noise.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So,
What's the story? Morning Glory. I have papers. I have a list of
Bacon
names.
got one right.
Bacon got one right. Bacon, what are you doing, man?
Yay, bacon. Okay, Jim got 4.
Congratulations, Jim.
Year of the Battle of Hastings.
1066, founding of Hadrian's Wall, which kept the Northern and Southerners from slaughtering each other for a very long time. Did it, though? Did it? Did it?
What was number 4?
Number 4 was that the battle? That wasn't the Battle of Hastings. Number 4 was Zaire. Zaire changed his name to the Congo in 1972. Zaire. Z-A-I-R-E. Zaire.
Okay. Tim got 8. Jumbo Barbarella got 6.
Bum, bum, bum.
Sunflower got 5.
Hooray.
Did Mrs. Hopkins answer?
I didn't see your answers get posted up.
Oh, I see 1.
Did I miss them if she did?
I think she just...
Miss Hopkins answered Egypt.
Okay, so Miss Hopkins got 1. She's got 8. Jumbo Barbarella got 6 in that round, so she has 19. Tim got 8 in that round, so he has 24. Sunflower got 5, so she's at 18. Bacon got 1, so he's at 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim got 4, so he's at 4.
Well, fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Fantastic. I always thought it like Hadrian's Wall was like a place where they just kind of, it didn't so much stop them from fighting, it just gave them a place where they could just hang out and intermingle. You know what I mean? Like there was always a bunch of Roman soldiers up there. So, you know, the Scottish prostitutes could go find the Roman soldiers, just knew where to find them. And, you know, trading hubs and all that stuff. I don't know if it really prevented, yeah. I'm sure it didn't help them fight, at the very least. I don't think the Romans had much interest in fighting the Scots. Anyway, let's get on with the last round. The last round's worth double. Double the points, double the fun, double the pleasure, double mint gum. Sponsor of our last round. Also,
not a sponsor.
Also, the Coors Light Twins. Was that Coors Light? Yeah, Coors Light Twins are the sponsor of our last round. Because it's double the fun, double the pleasure, double mint gum. Anyway, round 7, general knowledge. Jesus. Round 7, general knowledge. 9 questions, 18 points. Let's go. Question 1. What is the name of the hound in Walt Disney's The Fox and the Hound? What is the name of the hound in Walt Disney's The Fox and the Hound? Number 2. What common name was shared by 2 unmanned space probes launched in 1977? What common name was shared by the 2 unmanned space probes launched in 1977? Number 3. Which Shakespeare play begins with, "Now is the winter of our discontent"? Which Shakespeare play begins with, "Now is the winter of our discontent"? Number 4. It's followed up by, "And now is the winter of dat content." Anyway, number 4. The book Queen Bees and Wannabes was made into what 2004 movie? The book Queen Bees and Wannabes was made into what 2004 movie? Number 5. Who is famous for making zombie films Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead? Who is famous for making the zombie films Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead? Number 6. What part of the eye changes shape in LASIK surgery? What part of the eye changes shape in LASIK surgery? Number 7. This is general knowledge, by the way. Just, stuff you just know. Just general knowledge. Number 7. What is the name of the person that Suzanne Vega sang about who lived on the second floor and lives upstairs from you? What is the name of the person that Suzanne Vega sang about who lived on the second floor and lived upstairs from you? Number 8. Who is the first living person to appear on a Swiss postage stamp? Number 8. Who is the first living person to appear on a Swiss postage stamp? It's a big stamp to make them fit on it, too.
Or a little person.
Or a little person. Very teeny tiny person. Number 9. The Bond villain Blofeld was often seen petting what kind of cat? The Bond villain Blofeld was often seen petting what kind of cat? Jesus H. Christ. That's not the cat, by the way. All right, 45 seconds on the clock. That is some curious general knowledge. Like, I don't know how they got the whole person to fit on a stamp. I mean, you got to be very tiny to fit them on a stamp. And I've seen that person in like real life. He's not, or she, I guess, qualify that. Not like a tiny person. I mean, they're like a normal sized human being. That had to have been a big stamp. Whew. Anyway. We had 45 seconds. 45 seconds takes forever. Jesus. Didn't hear the question. You didn't hear the question, Mrs. Hopkins. Number 5, the question is, who's famous for making zombie films Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead? Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. Who is famous for making those movies? All right, that's 45 seconds. We're done. On with the answers to the questions of life, the universe, and everything. And then you get the questions to the answers of life, the universe, and everything. What is the name of the hound in Walt Disney's The Fox and the Hound? That would be Copper. Copper is the name of the hound. Number 2, the 2 unmanned probes launched in 1977. That would be Voyager. 1 and 2, Voyager is the name shared. The Shakespeare play that begins with "Now is the winter of our discontent," Richard III. Number 3 is Richard III. The book Queen Bees and Wannabes was made into a 2004 movie called Mean Girls. Mean Girls. Number 5. George Romero. George Romero was famous for making Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. Number 6. The cornea changes shape in LASIK surgery. Number 6 is cornea. Number 7, but not cornea than my jokes. Fuck, I hate myself.
No.
I hate myself for saying that out loud. Number 7, the name of the person who lived upstairs in the second floor is Luca. My name is Luca. I live on the second floor. Blah, blah, blah. I hate that song. Number 8. Number 6 was the cornea. Cornea is number 6.
Okay.
But not cornea than my joke. He did it again, didn't he? He did. He did it again. Did you hear that? He did.
Yeah.
God.
Did it again.
Number 8. The first living person to appear on a Swiss postage stamp was Roger Federer. Roger Federer. Roger Federer. Yep. And the Bond villain who pets a cat is Bond villain Blofeld pets a cat. The kind of cat is a Persian cat. Persian cat. So, how'd we do? Cornholio. LASIK shapes the cornea by restructuring the muscles of the iris. Yeah, it shoots it with little, I don't know, laser beam or something like that.
The bacon got 0.
Congratulations, Bacon. You almost had a perfect game. Almost. But next time. Next time. Always next time. Winter of our discontent, Richard III. Yes, winter of our discontent. And the summer of our dat content. And then there's the spring of those contents. And the fall of those contents. LASIK.
Okay,
LASIK.
so it looks
LASIK.
like Mrs. Hawkins got 2 correct.
Did you get the George Romero answer that she gave there?
I did not. Then she got 3 correct.
Yeah, she added in George Romero.
Okay, cool.
So have cataracts. How about that? Cooper. It was not Cooper. It was Copper, I believe. Was it Cooper or Copper? Did I read it?
It was Copper.
Copper. Yeah, Copper is the name of the hound. Where did I put the names over there? Betty White, Galileo, Hamlet. 0 for 3. Number 4.
Tim got 3.
Easy A was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
It was a fun movie to watch.
Yeah, it was not Mean Girl, so not the right answer.
But yeah, also not the right answer, but also a fun movie to watch. Notably absent was Julia Stiles from that movie, who is, as noted before, awesome. Putty Tat. I'm entertaining myself with the comment, with the chat there. The Invento, what?
I
think he was going to say the inventor of chocolate.
Oh.
Because if I scroll down further, that's whatever. I saw that somewhere.
I see. Okay. Okay. So Bacon had 1 total.
Whoops.
Jim got 2 right. So he got 4 in this round. So he ends up with a total of 8. Just Hawkins got 3 correct for 6 points. So she ends up with a total of 14. Sunflowers also got 3 correct for 6 points with a total of 24.
Okay.
Bamboo Barbarella got 3 correct for 6 points with a total of 25. And Tim wins our night tonight. He also got 3 correct for 6 points and has a total of 30.
So Tim got 30. Who was second place?
Bamboo Barbarella with 25.
25 is Barbarella. And who's third?
Sunflowers with 24. And no, Tim, I have a Manx cat. The villain, Dr. Evil, in the Austin Powers disease, had a hairless cat.
Yes.
Which was probably an Abyssian.
Yes. Although I did read that they had actually 6 cats, and only 4 of them were actual hairless cats. The other 2 were tabbies that they shaved because they just couldn't find 6 of the hairless cats. And they're like, well, we need 2 more. We need to have 6 because
they were not tabbies that they shaved.
Yeah, they were. They were tabbies that they
No,
shaped.
the tabby body is very different. And yeah,
Well, they were the stand-in, the stunt cats that they used for certain shoes because tabbies are a little bit more sturdy than the traditional pure hairless cats. So when they like had to toss them down the hallway in that one shot, or drop them off of the ledge in that other shot. But if they're just sitting there, it was one of the four actual hairless cats. If they actually were doing stuff, it was the tabbies because just like
so
what we learned.
Barbarella is going to do a trivia show on Wednesday.
Yes, she does. That's true. That is awesome. Gonna do a trivia show on. Yeah, she does one every week, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, she does a trivia show every week. So there you go. There you go. And also, we also, speaking of cats, we know from The Simpsons that anytime you see a cow in a movie, it's just a bunch of cats that are taped together because they look like a cow. We learned that in The Simpsons from the Radioactive Man movie episode.
Okay.
And anytime you see a horse, it's really just a cow. Or maybe I have that backwards. The cows are really horses, and the horses are just a bunch of cats taped together. I can't remember.
Okay.
But something like that. That's how they do it in movies.
Okay.
So anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had Tim, Barbarella, and Sunflower. And technically, Barbarella and Sunflower tie for second place because Barbarella lost a point. That means they both tie for second place. And we have 2 second place finishers and 1
Then
first place.
I'm the final arbiter. So
Yeah, but I get to hand out the prize and the prize of my love and affection. Tim gets that for first place, and then Bimbo, Barbarella, and Sunflowers gets my love and affection in equal parts for second place. But to be completely fair, there's not a whole lot of difference in my love and affection for second and third place because first place gets most of it. Y'all are just really fighting for scraps at that point.
Okay. I am tired. My period is kicking my butt, and I have
That's
to
awesome.
distillery.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My period is not kicking my butt.
You don't
at all.
have a period, Joe.
I know. That's why we are the superior species.
Fuck you.
We outsource all that shit to the females. we got stuff to do. We got some natives to oppress, and
Right.
people to subjugate. We got shit to do, man. We don't have time for cramps. We're just gonna go take over these fortresses or whatever it is that guys do these days. I don't know. We have a chat that needs to be approved. Oh, shut up and drink.
Really? To what?
Barbarella said, "Shut up and drink." Sunflower says, she thought I'd give all the winners pins. Yes, everybody gets all of my fuchsia pins. Tim gets all of my fuchsia pins. Turning off this screen improved the rendering speed. Much fewer dropped frames. Less of that Robo Lisa voice for the entire show.
Good.
So that may be the hardware fix. I just turn off this screen and use the big screen for the show going forward. That might be the solution to the problems that I've been having.
Good.
And the last 2 times I've joined Bimbo on her show, I've had fatal technical difficulties that have prevented me from doing stuff. And at this point, it's almost comical. Oh goodness. Okay.
Right. I'm going to go have a snack and go to bed.
Lisa's going to go have a snack and go to bed.
I can be at the distillery tomorrow.
That'd be fantastic. I'll be happy to see you at the distillery tomorrow.
So excited.
I hope we have 2 or 3 a small crowd of people. 5 or 10 people come out for the watch party for the Houston football Cougars. Well, hopefully that's what will happen. I'm not buying refreshments until I see people show up, though.
I'm coming, so
Well, yeah, we'll grab something to eat.
okay.
I'll see if I can drag the family out there. At least one of my kids has homework he needs to finish. So, anywho, he's done his
Yeah.
work. I just think he hasn't hit the button to turn it in. I know he's done the work. I just don't think he's turned it in. So, anyway, all right, Lisa. Good night. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. And I'm going to switch cameras as Lisa departs. I'm going to close this one and switch my screen from here to here. Did that work? Yes, it did. I think it worked. And then I will be able to turn on this one. Does that give me my screen? Yes, it does. Now, you see what's missing right now is the chat window. Let's see if I can make that. See if I can fix that. There's that. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Is that the one I need? There it is. Look at that. All you fine folks and all your witty repartee is there on the screen now. We can all talk. Because it's not really fun unless you can see your own words, right? Now you can see yourself talking and we can all talk together. It's going to be a hoot. Let me get there it is. We're set. We're so set. We're so set, people. I got my microphone in front of my face so y'all don't have to see it all. You can just do it like that and block the other half of my face. You can see my sunglasses and then the microphone, and that's it. You don't have to see. Maybe I can move it up a little bit further so that you can really not see my face. That'd be awesome. There. Now, the only problem with this is I can't really see chat. I'm going to have to kind of look around it a little bit. So maybe if I do this, let's see, I can't do that either. I kind of have to have it like this. There. If I point it at my nose, y'all can hear me fine, and I can see over it. And what I need is one of those big bushy microphones that just kind of obscures the bottom half of my face, and that'd be perfect. Wouldn't that work really well? All right. Let's catch up to chat. We're only about 15 minutes behind in chat. 4 minutes behind in chat, but that'll be fine. So how'd y'all enjoy the trivia? I'm kicking around ideas for format changes for the channel in general. Maybe moving trivia to every other week, alternating trivia with our other happy hour and going kind of back and forth. Not sure because I know I've got a lot of other a lot of other projects and stuff going on at the distillery. So maybe we'll be having more day in the life stuff going on. But I really, really, really want to have more recorded content posted up, 6 to 15 minute long videos. I have a 6 hour video, a day in the life video, a 6 hour video that I'm trying to cut down to about 15 minutes. There's a whole lot of footage from a day in the life video. And I just kind of want to cut it down to just the boxing and bottling and stuff like that and doing a little voiceover. I've been working on it now for about 3 weeks. Not actively, not the whole time. That would be crazy. But, coming back to it and I came back to it today and the file was corrupted and I was like, God damn it, pissed off and threw something. It really sucked. But, you know what? I'm going to have a drink too. What do I have? Rye? Let's have some rye. No, you know what? Do I want something else? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have some 19 Oaks. So this was 19 Oaks. This is the whiskey that I picked up in Lufkin, at a little distillery in Lufkin called the Front Porch Distillery. Cool little shop. Nice little whiskey. Fun guy to talk to. Little family operation. Dude and his daughters and wife and everybody working there. It was a cool little place. So there you go. Cheers to all y'all. But I mean, if y'all like the trivia, we can keep going. I like the engagement. I like the community. We might move it. I don't know. We may move it to. I don't know. We could do it twice. I could do it at the distillery live at the distillery, and then do it again online, so y'all could play after the people at the shop play. I don't know. We'll work on it. Well, I'm working on the idea. Working on how to make it better, a better experience for everybody. For the trivia. Bacon, we already talked about the favorite pen colors. Lisa, so just so you know, Lisa is a pen person. She likes all the multicolored pens. She does the um, color coded date book, color coded organizer, color coded tabs on her organizer, the little post-it tabs, so you can like see like notes in her notebook and all the stuff. She's a very organized person that way. I am the chaos factor. Um, she's extremely organized. I'm the chaos factor. My lovely wife is also relatively organized compared to me. Uh, we are we're me and my lovely wife have we are like we're she's organized where I'm chaotic, and I'm organized where she's chaotic, and our organization and chaos fit together very nicely, um, so to speak. But Lisa is a very organized individual, just in general. So yeah, there you go. Any musical guests tomorrow night? We do not have musical guests tomorrow night, but next Friday we have Mike Gallo, who is uh, just absolutely amazing. He's an absolutely amazing performer, really fun artist, and he's gonna put on a really good show. And I'm hoping we can get some folks out to the distillery. I'm gonna make the rounds with flyers and information to get people out to the shop, and hopefully we'll have a nice little crowd for him. Hopefully. Um, I follow the University of Houston football Cougars more closely than I've followed the Texans. Partly because the Texans have just been absolutely dreadful the last 3 years, and not like dreadful like not winning games, like dreadful like not entertaining. But to be completely fair, I don't watch as much NFL football as I used to. Mostly because it's not entertaining. It's it's really slow. The games are slow. The games are not really high tempo and high. They're not fast paced. They're not high tempo, and they get stopped so frequently for commercials. I have trouble staying interested. You know, when there's a commercial break of 2 to 5 minutes every 10 minutes in the damn game, it's hard to pay attention and maintain continuity and maintain interest. Um, and generally speaking, just with the flow of the game, I'd fall asleep in the third quarter anyway. Uh, the third quarter was kind of my nap time on Sundays. I turn on the game, and like literally, my kids would say, "Oh, Daddy's about to take his nap." I'm like, calm down, not till the third quarter. In the third quarter, the game would get even slower and more plotting and more dragged out because if the team with the lead takes the kickoff in the beginning of the second half, they do a really slow, really long, really plodding drive to kind of draw the clock out and make it as few possessions as possible in the second half of the game. And that brand of football is just hard to fucking watch. And with the University of Houston football Cougars the last 3 weeks, uh, our coach has done the same thing where in the first half of the game they play high power, high action, high power, energetic offense, and in the second half of the game they switch to this ball control philosophy of just of trying to run the clock down, and he's fucked it up 4 weeks in a row now, and given the ball back to the other team with 30 seconds left on the clock, and it's just like we've seen this play out under other coaches before. He didn't do this last year. He didn't do this last. This is a new philosophy. He says this is how he's always played football. This is not the way he did it last year, and it is very frustrating to watch. They have a good enough team, I'm going to talk college football real quick. The University of Houston has a good enough football team that they should not be playing prevent offense at the end of the game. They should just go out there, ball up their fist, and smash the opponents in the mouth and just fucking play ball. But they're out there trying to be too cutesy and strategic and like just fucking go score. Don't put the ball back in their hands. Just go score. Just don't sit there and play around, goof around, and if your defense is not good, that's fine. And our defense does not appear to be that good. Just go out and play like a bunch of damn ballers. Back when Tom Herman was our coach, they had this swagger to them. They'd go out there and they'd be like, we're the ones with the big dicks. Y'all are going to trip over them. That's how it's going to be. And they would play like they would play like they meant it. They'd go out there and they'd score on the first drive. They'd score a touchdown, not a field goal. They'd go out there with the intent, with the intensity, and the focus of scoring on the first drive every time. They'd put 7 up every time. And the defense had a mission on the first drive: stop the other team, make the other team kick it, and the offense would have the mission of score on the first drive. And if you can win the coin toss, score on the first drive, stop their team from scoring, from reciprocating, now you can play a little bit of ball control and try and like slow the pace of the game down a little bit. But they didn't bother doing that. They just went out there and just balled up their fist and just swung. They'd go out there and they'd score 60, 70 points in a game, and they did not care. You could score 30, 40 points. It doesn't matter because they were going to go out and score 60. They did not give a damn. But we haven't seen that kind of swagger since Tom Herman left, and it's kind of frustrating. We saw it a little bit last year, but they have not shown that kind of swagger this year. And when they're playing other schools in our conference, the American conference that we're in right now, we're about to switch over to the Big 12 conference. When we're playing other schools in the American conference, we shouldn't fuck around with those guys. We should just drop the hammer on them and just beat them. They're playing Tulane tomorrow night. Tulane they're a D1 school. They're a real school, a D1 school. They have talent just like we do. But University of Houston is head and shoulders above Tulane. We should go out there and just beat them like they stole something. Just tear them a new fucking asshole. But they're not gonna. They're gonna be all cutesy. They're gonna let Tulane get back into the game, and it's gonna end up being a close game. It's gonna end. The game's gonna end in a 10-point margin, but it's gonna be 10 points because it was a 3-point game going into the last part of the fourth quarter, and U of H scores a touchdown at the end of the fourth quarter to make it a 10-point game. Mark my words. Clip this, save it, run it back to me to show me that I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but that's kind of the feeling that I get. It's going to be a game that ends, that doesn't appear to be as close as it was, but it's going to stay close because they're just not going to they're not going to play with the swagger of just going out and just kicking the shit out of these people like they should. So anyway, no musical guest tomorrow, just football. We're not doing a live stream tomorrow afternoon. I may be doing a live stream tomorrow morning tomorrow early from the distillery, but we're not going to be doing a show tomorrow night. Sorry. If you want, we can do every other week trivia show. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like space them out a little bit. It's good to maintain the audience and maintain the community, but we're not expanding our audience. We're not expanding the community using trivia. And I mean, I don't know. The idea of doing. Okay, so let's have this conversation. Let's talk. Let's you and me. Let's talk. You, my loyal viewers here in chat right now, all 3 of you. Oh, there's 7 of us. So I've been trying to learn how to do YouTube better, right? And the basic thing that you should do when you're trying to, when you go through a progression of understanding how to do a thing, where you try a bunch of stuff. You try a bunch of stuff, and then you look at the data of all the stuff that you tried, and you see what works and what doesn't work, and you kind of review your own product and decide what you're good at, what you're not good at, what works, what doesn't work. And then you kind of do away with all the stuff that doesn't work, and then you focus in on the stuff that does, right? And then you kind of double down on what works, and you try to focus in on what works. So I did this back in February. I looked at all the stuff that we had. We had a bunch of recorded stuff. We had a bunch of things. All the stuff that didn't work, I kind of brushed to the side and focused in on what worked. What worked was live music, talk formats like this, and trivia, like game shows that we did. That stuff worked. So in all of March, I doubled down on that stuff. We did 4 shows a week, 5 shows a week, live music, guests that came into the show. We doubled down on all that stuff and focused in really hard. But what I found out through March was that it wasn't growing the audience. It wasn't growing. Like the audience was staying the same number of viewers for the shows, same number of watch hours, the same like I had more views and more hours and more everything, but it was, as an example, it was still, let's say, 30 views per show. I just had 5 shows instead of 2 every week. So the number of views went up, but they only went up by the number of shows. So instead of having 60 views or 30 views in the week for the one show, I had 150 because we did 5. Make sense? Okay. So as our subscriber base has continued to grow, the number of views on these live shows and the trivia has continued to grow, but it hasn't grown. You know, it's the shorts is what's growing our audience more than these are. And I like doing these. I like interacting and hanging out and doing the trivia and doing the talk, the Old Humble After Dark, the Old Humble Coast to Coast, whatever you want to call it, the second half where we have the conversation. I do the chat thing. This is fun. This is me being able to relax and have some drinks and talk. You know, this is us hanging out in the bar. This is the extension of the tasting room. You know, sitting down at the table, we're just chatting. Y'all are chatting. We're all, you know, y'all have y'all's conversation in chat. I have my conversation with y'all. Everybody's doing their thing. It's fun. I enjoy it. But as a function of as the on the business side of it, it's not growing. You know, we're not reaching new people because these are 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hour long live streams, and it's not bringing in new people. Nobody watches a live stream after the live stream ends. So I want to focus more of my energy and effort on the things that grow the channel, and it seems that shorts and 6 to 15 minute videos, the 1 minute and less, and then the 6 minute to 15 minute videos, those tend to grow channels more. I'm just not really good at the 6 to 15 minute video bits. Just not really good at it yet. That's not to say I can't be good at it, but it's just that I'm just not. I just haven't put in the effort. I haven't put in the time. I haven't tried. But that's not to say I can't. I just haven't had time to do it. And one of the reasons I haven't had time to do it is because I spend 7 hours a week doing live shows like this. But if I could transfer some of that 7 hours into editing time, well, then I can take a day in the life show from earlier in the week, spend 7 hours editing it, pop it down into a 15-minute video, and then we have a day in the life. This is me doing bottling. This is me doing a labeling run. This is us doing a distillation run. This is us making brandy. This is, whatever dumb projects we're doing at the distillery, building a bench, building a bar, building some stuff. So yeah, that's where my head is right now when it comes to like building the channel. And we've done, as far as learning how to do YouTube over the last 5 months, I've learned a lot. We've gone from basically 4,000 views over the course of 2 years to 100 and I think it was 169,000 since February 15th when I started this 100,000 views project, which is, I mean, I'm way surprised at the project and how it's all come together. And then I look at the number of subscribers up there since something like 300 and something subscribers since February. The support from the community and the growth of the community has just been amazing, and I love it, and I appreciate it, absolutely appreciate it. And my artists, when they come in on Fridays, my guests that I can get on the shows, they get greater exposure. We get greater exposure for our brand. I mean, everything just kind of comes together. It's this whole ecosystem uh, of of the channel and the community that we're trying to share this vibe out there and do something with this little corner of the internet, and do it in a organic way. I don't need 10,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers. I want my bands to get 100 viewers and 50 to 100 hours of watch time during their 3-hour shows. I want my bands to get exposure and my bands to get seen. That's the whole point of dragging them out to the distillery. I would really like people to be at the distillery watching them, but if we have people online buying their, going to Spotify, buying their music, buying their albums and their merch, then tipping them directly online through Venmo or whatever. Yeah, it's great. That's part of the point of doing the whole thing. So yeah. Anyway, and then of course Friday after the fact, I pop into Bacon's room and see what's going on over on Bacon's channel. So you can always see more of me there in a different setting and a much more relaxed headspace. So there you go. Do we ever watch hockey? Here in Houston, we don't watch much hockey because we don't have a hockey team in Houston. The last sport I've watched in person, likely the only one I would see these days. Yeah, up in Dallas they have a hockey team, but down here in Houston we don't, and we're not much of a hockey town in Houston. So no, I don't watch much hockey. Um, um, yeah, I can't say when the last time I watched a hockey match was. It's been a while. In fact, I probably watch more soccer than hockey. Um, in fact, I know for a fact, 100%, I watch more soccer than hockey. Um, but soccer, man, soccer's just lively when you get to in the stadium. Soccer is insane. It's so much fun. The only sport you watch, boxing. What? Only sport sometimes watches boxing. To enjoy sports during. Oh my God, I am such a freak for the Olympics. I love watching the Olympic sports. I could sit there and watch cross country skiing all day long. It is so much fun to watch cross country skiing. Um, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoy Winter Olympics. I like. There's a lot of Summer Olympics that I enjoy watching. I get frustrated with the broadcasts of Summer Olympics because it's all gymnastics, and I hate gymnastics. It just drives me absolutely crazy. Because you can watch people do a gymnastics routine, and you're like, "That's good," and then they get scores, and the scores are like, "What the whatever." And also ice skating and gymnastics. That's all the Summer Olympic broadcasters are. And I want to see the track and field. I want to see the weightlifting. I want to see all the other really cool, fun, exciting sports. The rowing sports, the sculls, and the boats, the rowing boats, and the running, the long distance running, the hurdles, the decathlon. I want to see all those stuff. But all they want to show on the network broadcast is gymnastics and ice skating in the Winter Olympics, gymnastics in the Summer Olympics, and the diving. I don't want to see fucking diving. I don't want to see synchronized swimming. I don't want to see any of that shit. Show me the real sports. The stuff. Synchronized diving? Are you fucking kidding me? These people are falling off of a platform at the same time. And that's a sport. Like, come on. Seriously. Seriously. Put a shark in the water. Now you got a sport. They're jumping off a platform into shark infested waters. And they got to swim to the edge. That's a sport. That's the one I want to watch. You got to do a double half pike, spinny flippy thing, and then swim for your life. Fuck yeah, show me that. Um, but see, the swimming sports, I dig the swimming sports, the swimming, because and these are the sports that I like. The sports I like, the sports I get into, the sports I get really excited about. There's a bar, you have to clear it. Now, if there's a bar and you have to clear it, and then some shithead judges are like, "Oh, you didn't clear it with proper style. You only get an 8 for clearing the bar." Like, fuck you! I jumped over a 12-foot bar, and you're gonna sit there and tell me that I didn't have my toes pointed, and you're gonna deduct points? See how ridiculous that sounds? It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, you're gonna give me style points for clearing a bar? No, 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 no. There's a bar. Swim faster, jump higher, lift heavier, punch harder, do whatever it is. That, all this scoring shit, that's nonsense. I hate those all those fucking sports with the scoring nonsense. That just drives me absolutely nuts. Give me real sports, absolute real sports where there's like a goal, you have to attain it, and the next person has a mark, and that person either meets it, beats it, or falls short. That's it. That's what I want to see. Those are the Olympic sports that I want to see. I don't want to watch some Nancy twinkling her toes off and whatever. That doesn't mean nothing to me. Now if it's like that little pommel horse thing where they got to run up and jump and then do the little flippy things. If it was like the person who went the farthest, that's the person who wins. I'm down. Let's see it. They're gonna run. They're gonna run up their little runway. They're gonna jump. They're gonna do their spins and flips and twists and whatever. And that person landed 18 feet, meters, whatever. Then the next person comes up at 18.2, and the next person comes at 17.3, and then that person gets their head chopped off. Oh, tell me about it. Preach, baby. I want to see. I mean, probably not the head chop off part. That would make it, brutal. But the person gets a medal. They don't get a medal because they didn't jump far enough. That's a fucking sport right there. Otherwise, it's just art. And not nothing. There's nothing wrong with art. I mean, I'm down with art, but don't mix my art in with sports. Could use it. They play in the Super Bowl, right? The Chiefs and the Broncos. Well, that'd be all in the AFC. The Chiefs and the Jaguars? They're in the NFC? Whatever. They're in the Super Bowl. They're playing the Super Bowl. They're doing their thing, and then like it's in the fourth quarter. They're tied at 28 all. They do a little sweep pattern, punch it into the end zone. Boom, touchdown. The crowd goes wild. Then the referees get together and they're like, well, he dove into the end zone and put the ball down, and it was technically a touchdown, but instead of giving them the full 6 points for the touchdown, we need to deduct 4 points because his left knee was bent and he wasn't in a full flat pike formation as he was going into the end zone. So we need to deduct 4 points. So instead of the 6, they only get 2. And then the kicker comes out and he kicks the extra point, and they get the extra point. It's 3. And then the other team, the Broncos, let's say the Broncos, the Jaguars, whoever, they turn around, they get the ball back, and they go back, and then they score a touchdown. But because the guy had his leg straight, they got not the full 6. No. They only deducted 2 points for that touchdown. And so then, now the Jaguars, because the guy didn't have bad enough, as bad form, they win the game. You see how ridiculous that sounds? They don't win it because they scored the touchdown. They win it because he had better form as he dove into the just fucking nonsense. Just absolute nonsense. Gymnastics, get your shit together. Anyway, where were we? What was I talking about? Yeah, and see, boxing is one of those sports. You beat the guy up or you don't beat the guy up. And now they do have points of how many punches you land, how many. There's a scoring system in boxing, but basically you win a boxing match by beating the other guy up better. That's it. It's pretty clear if it's usually pretty clear who the winner is, unless it gets properly mobbed up. So anyway, I'm trying to get better at YouTube. See, I have an actual mission for my channel, Bacon. I have an actual mission, an actual goal that I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to sell whiskey. So I'm trying to be better at my media reach on the YouTubes. The Sunflower won't make any content on channel. There's no requirement. You don't have to make content on a channel. It's fine. You're part of content. You're here on my channel. You're part of content now. Last game I saw was the Seattle Thunderbirds. What the fuck? Is that a hockey team? The Seattle Thunderbirds? Near where I used to live, probably never see the Kraken for the reason the stadium climate. Is that soccer? The stadium Climate Pledge Arena. They named their stadium Climate Pledge Arena? Hey Siri, what league is the Kraken in?
Here's what I found from Wikipedia. The Seattle Kraken are a professional
Oh.
ice hockey expansion team.
They're an
based in
ice hockey
Seattle.
team in Seattle. How about that? I didn't know the NHL was still doing expansion teams. I thought they had reached their 30 team or 32 team limit and they were done. Interesting. Interesting. Bimbo, yes, my type of show. But you're right, shorts. Well, see, the shorts get more views. So I did a deep dive on shorts on one of my 100,000 views update shows that nobody watched. Like shorts are like little drops of crack for a channel. You get a lot of views, but you don't get a lot of engagement. You might even get some subscribers, but they don't come back and watch other stuff. Like there's channel viewers and then there's shorts viewers. And I've got my long form, for my channel at least, I have long form live. And then my shorts are like 15 to 60-second clips. But I don't have anything in between. If I had some 5 to 10 minute or 6 to 15 minute video, I may get a little bit more of that gap being bridged. But, you know, I'm getting people watching my short. They consume my shorts actively. I have plenty of people actively consuming my shorts. I get plenty of subs coming in from the shorts feed. How the short that we dropped yesterday with my lovely wife, day before yesterday with my lovely wife, 3,500, 2,500, 3,500, somewhere in that neighborhood of views. And, you know, every once in a while you'll have one pop off or scores and scores and scores of views. But yeah, and now the YouTube is changing the algorithm and changing the way that shorts link to the rest of your channel. You're getting more crossover. Your normal uploads are getting shown over to people's. If they interact with your shorts, your regular video content is being suggested over on their main page now. There's more of a bridge between shorts and longs. So it's more of an effective strategy for a broader channel now. But yeah, that's a deep dive technical shit, which I'm happy to talk about because I'm a nerd. But blah blah blah. More than happy to promote your brands. I would love you to promote my brands, and when we get down in Florida, which you know, part of my goal next year, by the end of next year, is to have at least one more state where we are actively selling our whiskey, and whether it's California, Colorado, or Florida, or New York, or wherever else, I will let you know. If it's Florida, you're going to be one of my point people down in Florida, because that whole the Bimbo Barbarella Mafia. Bimbo Barbarella, we had the Houston Aeros here for a while. I don't think they're here anymore. The Houston Aeros, I think, moved off to Dallas or San Antonio. We don't have that hockey team here anymore. I don't think we do. Hey Siri, does the Houston Aeros still play in Houston?
Okay.
Let's see what Siri has to say about
that.
that. 2013 is when they stopped playing as a minor league hockey team. So they were a minor league team attached to the Blackhawks, if I'm not mistaken, and they're no longer active. The Houston Aeros no longer play in Houston. So, and I did go to a couple of hockey matches, hockey games. Are they matches or games? I went to a couple of hockey games with the Aeros way, way, way back in the 90s. It was a cheap ticket, fun to go see, uh, entertaining, but yeah, we just not big time hockey. Not here in Houston, at least. Fencing. You know, I was thinking about fencing. Yummy time with Twisted. Cheers, yummy time with Twisted. I was thinking about fencing the other day. A random thought that popped into my head. Like, we don't hear the term fence. Used to be stolen property would get moved by a fence. Somebody who was a black market dealer. You could give them watches. The fence would sell the watches, whatever, But now I guess we have pawn shops. Haven't heard the term fence in relation to people selling stolen stuff in probably 10 years. It's been almost certainly a decade. It's been a long time. And that thought just popped in my head the other day. Just randomly, I'm driving home from wherever I was, and I was thinking to myself, self, we never hear about fences anymore. Fence, a black market dealer, a fence, somebody who can move stuff you stole. Like, how do people even move stolen goods these days? Like, if you got, if you came across a load of stolen watches, how would you do that? Nobody knows a fence. Nobody knows any fences anymore. That's not even a thing. Like, how would you do that? If you came across $500,000, how would you launder that money? Like, most people don't know how to do that shit. Most people have not the slightest idea how they would deal with if there was a truck, an Amazon truck broke down by your house. You could go and you could steal all the shit out of the back of that truck. But what would you do with it? What would you do with it? How would you move that property? How would you sell it and move that property? You've got a truck full of Amazon stuff. Like, would you just go to the pawn shop and sell it at the pawn shop for pennies on the dollar? Would you post it up in a Facebook marketplace or open up an Etsy shop or an Amazon shop and try to sell shit that way? Amazon, that'd be ironic. Steal shit from the Amazon truck, then open up an Amazon shop and try to sell it that way. That would be ironic. But how would you do it? How would you go about doing it? Would you? Maybe that'd be a show to do for a Wednesday night, like how to sell stolen shit. How to sell stolen shit. Huh. Anyway, yeah. So, yummy time with Twisted. Are you also Twisted Art Lady? Is this another channel that you set up, Sam? Uh, Curious. I can forgive Humble for saying soccer since I haven't watched it live before. Oh, I'm telling you, here in Houston, the Dynamo and the Dash, the party in the stadium is nuts. It is absolutely nuts. And I don't know if it's like this at every or MLS stadium. I don't know if it's like this for every game when they go on the road too. But the boosters in the crowd, they're constantly playing the drums, constantly playing music, constantly chanting, constantly cheering, constantly yelling. It is for the entire show. They're on their feet, they're cheering, they're yelling, they're singing, they're playing their vuvuzelas, they're playing the trumpet, they're playing the drums. It is crazy the whole damn time. It is so much fun. So much fun. I don't even know what they do in the rest of the stadium. I go hang out with the fun people. Uh, anyway, excuse me. Um, Now, one thing I can say, since I just finished my drink of 19 Oaks, one thing I can say about 19 Oaks, it's a very sweet whiskey. It's a blend between Indiana and Kentucky. I'm sorry, Texas and Kentucky whiskey. It's a blend of Texas and Kentucky whiskey, and it is extremely sweet. Almost like rum sweet, but it's not rum. Obviously, it's whiskey, but it's an extremely sweet whiskey. Um, so yeah, son, don't see why I wouldn't. Wait, what? Where? Well, what I miss? Did I miss something? Uh, I must not have. Maybe. I don't know. Drama stuff. All cool. What? Did I miss? I don't want to miss anything. It's fun hanging out here. Bacon. At least he's still. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, I get you. Um. All right. So where are we? What pin Twisted? What pin colors do you use? Yes, that's actually the question of the night. Twisted. What pin colors do you use? I use blues, blacks, and red on occasion. That's it. I'm a traditionalist, and I prefer blue actually. Would I like those gymnasts more if they brought what? Don't give me this shit. The blue cake and ice cream. I hate blue icing. Absolutely hate it. You know, if it was like a white icing or brown icing cake and you cut it open and had blue, like the actual cake was blue, I don't know if I can handle that. I think I would have problems with that. Blueberry muffins, where the blueberries have been uh, punctured and it's gotten the blue juices into the whole muffin and like the muffin's kind of blue. It's like that smeared blue color around the berries. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. The blue needs to be where it belongs. If you're having a blueberry muffin, the blue needs to be in the berries, not in the muffin. It's not a blue berry muffin where like the muffin's blue and it has berries in it. It's a blueberry, like the berries are blue. Blueberry muffin. The muffin's normal. Don't come at me with blue berry muffins. That's unacceptable. Anyway, um, how far behind am I in chat? By the way, it's oh shit, I'm about 20 minutes behind in chat. See what y'all do. Y'all get me to talking. Y'all get me to talking. Well, that's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind talking. You've done the deep dive. The women, the pants. Um, I'll catch up. I always do catch up. I always do. Eventually, do usually. Sometimes, always catch up. There's a farm team there. The Minnesota Wild. That's what it was. I think the arrows were. Yeah, I think it was Minnesota, not the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the Minnesota Wild that they were a farm team for, but they weren't. They're not in Houston anymore. They've been moved off somewhere else. They've been relocated. Um, so yeah, there you go. Well, since I've heard of the MiG-23 fencer, now, yeah. So actually, I was reading before the show starts out before the show started. I was reading a story that there was a there was there was a town in Russian controlled territory that they were going to be annexing tomorrow that was about to fall, and Soviet Russian troops were about to retreat out of that province, which was going to complicate them annexing the territory. Uh, Russia's having issues, and it's so heartbreaking to see Russia having issues. But Russia, I don't need these in my ear. Uh, it is so it's yeah. I was very intently watching the war in Ukraine when it first started. Um, did updates on it throughout the month of March. We did weekly updates and into April, and there was a lot of uh, concern about um, whether or not like what the end game was going to be for Russia, how it was going to go, and if everything started going badly for Russia, what was going to happen. And now we're seeing more rumblings about Russia maybe using a tactical battlefield nuke, but yeah, I mean it's really good to see Ukraine on the offensive and taking their territory back and putting Russia back on their heels. Uh, Putin mobilizing the battle-aged men and getting them out of Moscow and out of Russia, possibly to protect his own hide, likely to protect his own hide, because he's basically sending them off to get slaughtered. But lots of rumbling lately in the last couple of weeks about tactical nukes. I don't think that Russia will use a tactical nuke, because that means that they'll probably get their asses handed to them on a radiation-free lead platter. I don't think the rest of the world's going to look kindly upon Russia using tactical battlefield nukes. And that, I mean, things are going to get nasty if that happens. I think we're more likely to see a withdrawal and a retreat than we will to see actual battlefield nukes. But we'll see. We'll see. Because language evolves. That have to do with fencing, I presume. Language evolves. I mean, language evolves, but there's definitions for, like, there's words for things that people. I mean, I think it's just the crime of stealing stuff off of a truck and then having to move that product has kind of fallen out of fashion. It's a crime that happens, but it's not a crime that happens as much as it happened back in the 70s and 80s. Did you send me a thing on Insta? Yep, there it is. Well, that's... All right, I'm going to check my Instagram live right now. Did you send it on Insta? Is it under requests? Nope. General? Where are you? I don't think you sent it to me on Insta. I sent Joe a picture of part of my pen collection on Insta. I don't have a message from you, Sunflowers. I don't have any messages on Insta. The last message I got was an hour ago from Kendrick Knighton, who was an hour ago? Oh, he's active an hour ago. This was a message from weeks ago, asking me if we have cocktails, or if we just pour whiskey neat. Like, that's the dumbest question. Whatever. You may need to send it again. I don't think I got it. So there you go. Yeah, see, Twisted's not a crazy person. Use black ink pens, blue ink pens, red ink pens. That's all I got. I will actively lose green pens, without question. Blue cake with different color icing. Yeah, like, would that be a psychopathic thing to do? Like, the cake is colored blue and the icing makes it look like a normal cake? Like, the icing makes it look like a normal cake, like a white sheet cake or whatever? Like the flowers or whatever garnish thing that they have on the stupid cake. And then you cut it open and it's like blue and red. And like red velvet cake, I won't eat red velvet cake. That's, yeah, I won't. I don't like the color looks gross. I don't want to eat a red velvet cake. I'll eat a regular chocolate cake with red icing. I won't like it. I'd rather have regular chocolate icing with like red accents. I won't enjoy the process of eating a chocolate cake with red icing, but if it's a chocolate cake with like chocolate icing and like red accent, or white icing with like red, like strawberry, yeah, I'll eat that. That's down. But if you show me a cake that's just covered in red icing like it's a murder scene, no, I'm not gonna eat that shit. And if it's a red cake with chocolate icing, now fuck you. You can keep your red velvet cake. I don't want that shit. And if you are the kind of monster that's going to take a perfectly good chocolate cake and add coconut to it and ruin that perfectly good chocolate cake, then not only am I not going to eat that cake, I'm going to report you to Instapol or Interpol and have the international police come and pick you up and drag you to The Hague and stand trial for crimes against humanity, because that is just wrong. You've taken a perfectly good cake and ruined it. Ruined it. Nobody wants to eat that shit unless they're other psychopaths. Other psychopaths, people who are mentally deranged and just generally generally unacceptable to society will take that chocolate cake and look at it and go, you've put coconut in this cake. It is better now. I will eat this cake and not that one that doesn't have coconut because I, too, like you, am a monster. Don't ruin cake with coconut. Like, don't ruin anything with coconut. Just take coconut. Coconuts are used for 3 purposes. There's only 3 reasons that coconuts exist at all. The first reason is to drop the coconut on people's heads and have a little lump form. That's the first reason, for comedy. For comedy purposes only. For the coconut to conk them on the head, and then they fall over, and then the little lump forms up on their head, the little cone. That's reason one. One reason, the first reason for coconuts to exist is that. Right on the head. The second reason for coconuts to exist is to make the horse sound. Clop, 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 clop. That's the second reason for coconuts to exist. Drop on your head, knock you out, and 2 is to make horse sounds. Clop, 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 clop. That's it. That's the first 2 reasons. Outside of those 2 reasons, there's only one other reason. If you haven't satisfied those 2 reasons, you don't need coconuts. There's the one reason, head. Second reason, horse sounds. Third reason, the only other reason for coconuts to exist, third reason, coconut bikini bra. That's it. If you don't have a bikini bra, a coconut bikini bra, making horse sounds or dropping them on people's heads, you don't need coconuts. There are far too many coconut trees in this world to serve those 3 purposes. There's no reason to eat a coconut. There's no reason to make drinks in a coconut. There's no reason to have coconut flavored whatever shit because the texture of coconut is just garbage. If you don't have titties that fit in a coconut shell, you don't need coconut shells. If you don't have a head that's going to be conked on from a coconut falling out of a tree, you don't need coconuts. And if you're not making the sound of horses running, clip clop, clip clop, if you're not doing the Monty Python thing, you don't need coconuts. And there's an optional fourth possibility, fourth maybe possibility of putting a lime in a coconut. That's it. That's it. If you have a lime and a coconut, that's acceptable. That's acceptable. Although important to note, that is also terrible. Lime and coconut is terrible. It tastes like shit. It's dumb. It doesn't do anything. It's trash. I will make allowances for like coconuts that have fallen and they're already like just laying around. Then you can make drinks with them, but as long as you're not actually eating or using the coconut in the drink itself, because the texture of that pulp is just awful. It's just gross. Don't do it. There's better. You could take an actual glass. I don't know if you know this, but like every single drink that can be made inside of a coconut can be made in a glass too. So you actually don't even need the coconut. You don't need to walk around with coconut with a stupid little garnish and a straw sticking out of it and being all, I'm in the Caribbean Oceans, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. You don't need to do that. You could just simply put it in a glass. I mean, these glass things fit as much or more drink, or you want to have a full size one like this in a pint glass. This fit as much or more than a coconut. You don't even need the coconut for a drink. So, like, I get it if you just have one laying around, like it just fell out of the tree, you don't have anything to do with it. You drill a hole in it, make a pour, but you don't even need to do that. If it didn't hit anyone on the head, if you don't have horse sounds to make, and you already have a coconut bikini already tied up and cinched up over your the titties that you're trying to cover with the coconut, then you don't need. You can use the one that fell. You just have one laying around and sitting over there in your bar. You can just pick that up and make a drink with it. Or hear me out. I know this sounds weird, but you could just take that coconut and throw it in the trash where it belongs, and then make your drink in a regular cup like a normal person. So, I'm just saying. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, where were we? What were we talking about? I don't even know. Sunflower Instagram, but I rarely post. For the YouTube mods in the chat, he said Black Hawks. Yeah. Yeah. uh, yeah, anyway. The Black Hawk. I tried to enunciate when I said it. I did. I tried to enunciate, but you don't always get the proper enunciation when you say Black Hawks. Sometimes it just sounds like you're saying Blackhawks, especially if you're saying it with the proper. Isn't it Boston? No, it's Chicago Blackhawk. Chicago Blackhawks. Uh, was it Hawks or Cawks? Most of the world doesn't look kindly on Russia in general. Yeah, right now it's basically Russia, Syria, China, Iran, Venezuela. I think that's their coalition. It's not much of a coalition. It's kind of the bad news bears of coalitions. Oh, okay. So we're tagged in a post. Oh, there it is. It just showed up. There it is. It showed up. I see it. It says post unavailable. Am I not following you? Oh, I need to follow you back. Okay. It says post unavailable because I wasn't following you yet. I just followed you back. It'll show up in my feed in a little while. Okay. I guess I'm a psycho. I happen to be a baker and a cake decorator, and I do make red velvet cakes as well as chocolate coconut. See, I want to like you. I really do. But you go and admit shit like that you intentionally put chocolate in cakes. And red velvet. I guess red velvet's better than chocolate cake with red icing, but man, you get like a cake that just looks like a crime scene. It's just like chocolate covered in red. Ugh. Ugh. Gross. Anyway, um, we agree on coconut on chocolate. And I kind of want to send you some Seattle Seahawks themed macaroon. Ooh, macaroons. I think I've had macaroons before. Have I had macaroons before? Macaroons and cheese? No, I'm kidding. Macaroons are nuts. D's nuts. Ah ha ha ha. If you don't have titties that don't fit in coconut bras. All right. Yep. Let's do it. Olyria Roy. Olyria. Let's do it. Olyria. Olyriaroy. Let's see. Olyria Roy. Does she have? Oh no, those will not fit in coconuts. Those are big old. They're watermelon titties. You got to have a watermelon bra for Olyria Roy. Those will not fit in coconuts unless you have a big giant coconut. Nah. Of course, I like you twisted, regardless of the coconut. True. In my opinion, VP appears to be trying to bring about. Oh, Vladimir Putin. I'm looking at VP. I'm like, Vice President. What the fuck are you talking about, Vice President? Appears to be trying to bring about World War last. Seems remarkably foolish. Yeah, I don't see. Like I was saying this back in March. I don't. There's not an end game. If if Ukraine was not capable of taking their territory back, if they had not launched a counteroffensive that pushed the front lines further east and south, then I could have foreseen an end game where a brokered peace deal included Ukraine losing territory, Russia committing to peace, everybody committing to peace, et cetera, and just, but at this point, I do not, I can't see an end game where Russia. I have a jet flying over top. We are near a flight path for the airport, and every once in a while the flights change path. Usually they're flying over our backyard that direction, but this time they're flying out front. And usually we don't hear them that way; they're far enough away. But when they move off to this direction, they're very close. And that was a jet that just flew over top that way. Anyway, but yeah, I don't see an end game where Russia maintains any of the territory inside Ukraine. But I could see an end game where they do a big fuck you as they walk back, as they head back home. I hope not, I'd like to think that cooler heads will prevail, or at least the self-preservation quality of relatively cool heads will prevail. But yeah. Anyway, I don't think if you're a world leader that decides to launch nukes, I don't think you're the type. I don't think the rest of the world is the type of people who would let you hang around to see the aftermath. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think he. I don't think he gets to sit back and see how it plays out. Um, have some bitter Gavalia cocoa. I like. Sometimes you get in the mood for cocoa that isn't quite so sweet. Um, yeah, I get that. Okay, fess up. Who else? Who is A B that was attacking me? Huh? Who is a who is A B that was I don't know what you're talking about. Jail. A B that was attacking you last night. Huh. I have to get more context to the question. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, like mine wouldn't fit in coconuts either. um, I also think it was cover up for criminal. You think Russia attacking Ukraine was a cover up for Hunter Biden's computer? Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a one of these days. Maybe in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we'll do a because there was something released just recently on Hunter Biden's computer, and maybe we'll do a deep dive on that. That's the biggest nonsensical story in the history of nonsensical stories. Um, uh, Nick Nepper's in the house. Hey, big fella, what's up, my man? 45 did a great job. 45 attempted a coup. All right. I had this conversation with a ding dong at Walgreens today. He did nothing right. The only thing he did right was that he fucked up the coup, and he only fucked up the coup because he can't do anything right. I mean, it's a remarkable thing that he's so incompetent that he even fucked up breaking a crowbar. You can be so fucking incompetent that you can ruin a rock fight, but sometimes ruining a rock fight is the only thing you do right. Maybe we should do another. Yeah, yeah, we'll do a deep dive in the former guy when he finally goes to jail. and all the fucking fascist bullshit. Uh, that was the fun fireworks I started over on TikTok this week was I picked on fascists and they got mad, and it's just fun. I added like 50 subscribers because I said something along the lines of, if you get offended for being called a fascist, maybe you should stop being a fascist. Fascists get really up in their feels when you call them fascists. Uh, Bless their sweet little hearts. Um, no, anyway, um, yes, Hunter did have a position on the Gazprom board. That is no, it wasn't Gazprom. It was Burisma. Uh, Close though. They were like neighboring countries, different different companies, but neighboring countries. They kind of do the same thing. Um, it wasn't the Russian Federation State Petroleum Company. It was the Ukrainian Petroleum Company, Burisma. But there was a reason he was on the board. It was so that other people on the board would have access to Joe Biden. That was exactly why he was on the board. But it's not uncommon for people who are adjacent to famous people or powerful people or who have access to people to get positions on boards. That happens all the time. I mean, Al Gore had a seat on the board at Apple for years. I don't know if he still does. But why the fuck would Al Gore have a seat on the board at Apple? What does Al Gore know about Apple computers? Computers in general. Why on earth would Apple have Al Gore, former Vice President Al Gore, be a member of the board? Doesn't make any sense. Seems cuckoo bird crazy. Maybe it's because Al Gore has access to current famous politicians who would are current important powerful politicians in the Senate and places higher than that where maybe he would help them have access to stuff. I think he has a seat on the board of Disney too for years. But that's 100% not uncommon. And his qualifications is that his name is Biden. That's that's how he got a position on the board of Burisma. And that's, how other people with names that are recognizable get positions on a board uh, or investment money from powerful people across the country, across the world. There's a whole lot to be said about that. That's a whole lot to be talked about. That. Um, oh yeah, and then there's the pipeline that got busted. The Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines, uh, presumably sabotage up there in the North Sea. The Nord Stream 2 was not actually transmitting anything when it got popped because it had not been certified by Germany yet. But Nord Stream 1 had been certified, but I think it had been shut down due to the embargo. And it's an active question as to who blew the pipelines. Poland has been accused. Russia's been accused. The United States has been accused through Russia and a former politician in Poland. Um, I don't know. I would not. I mean, there's a whole lot of motive on both sides of the ledger when it comes to popping Nord Stream 1 and 2, but we'll see. Well, that information is probably going to come out, and I don't know how reliable that information is even going to be when it does come out, because it's how verifiable can it be? It was a two uh, uh, the explosion that ruptured the pipeline registered a 2 on the Richter scale, which is a big damn explosion. I don't know. It's going to be very fascinating to watch. Very interesting to see. Um, Al Gore gets credit for funding a public internet, but he really just wrote in a internet tax on existing phone lines. Well, existing phone lines exist because of a tax that was levied on existing phone lines. Yeah, that's why people in the middle of Kansas, in the middle of Montana, in the middle of Texas, in the middle of all kinds of other people have phone lines and electric lines, and extending out the internet to people outside of cities was literally done. That's the same funding mechanism that was done to get folks uh, electricity and plumbing and electricity, plumbing, and phone lines. The same type of program got them broadband and cable fiber optic stuff. And that was a big deal in the 90s. Laying cable all through the 90s, there was a whole bunch of companies got really rich and then went bankrupt in the 90s for laying cable all throughout the country. Big trunk lines going from east to west. Lots of lots of that. And not very many people far west of the Mississippi River have adequate. Nope, they do not have adequate service, and there's a reason they don't have adequate service, because they have service, but it's in the hands of the private companies that don't make a lot of money off of people in Wyoming and Wisconsin and uh, uh, Idaho and places like that. They don't make a lot of money, so it's there's no incentive to send out the best service to the people in sparsely populated areas, but they just have to have service because it's not a national network. It's a private network that is uh, extended out to all these places. It's very fascinating, very fun. And when you dig into play, like there was a dude, I saw a video of a dude who was complaining because uh, public public charging stations outside of places like Lowe's and Walmart uh, sucked. If you plugged in your car, if you plug in your car at home for like 15 minutes, it charges up something like, I don't know what he was saying, something like 60 miles or 100 miles or something like that in 15 minutes. But if you plug in your car to a place outside like a Walmart and you wait for 15 minutes, you might only get 1 or 2 or 3 miles added to your range. And this is the same complaint that people were having when you go into a Walmart supercenter and there's three cashiers. There's 27 cash registers and three cashiers. And there's lines that go, there's 14 people in every line, and there's only 3 lanes that are open, and there's 27 cashiers. And where are the other cashiers? Why am I standing in line at a Walmart? It's like these people never considered the idea that Walmart doesn't want you to fucking check out. Doesn't want your checkout experience to be easy. Walmart wants your checkout experience to be a 20-minute process. They want you to have to stand in line for 15 to 20 minutes. They don't want you to go into Walmart real quick, grab a carton of milk, a thing of eggs, and some bread and bounce. They don't want you to go in there, grab something and go. They want you to go in there and shop. They want you to go to Walmart and get a basket full of goods. They want you to spend 30 minutes to an hour shopping and getting a basket full of goods and bringing your basket full of goods up to the cash register. Why? Because they make more money the more time you spend at Walmart. You fill up your entire basket of goods. Now you don't really have a problem spending 15 to 20 minutes standing in line because you've just spent like an hour in the store and you're done walking around. You want to stand still and lean on your cart for a while. This makes sense when you think about it from the business's point of view. They absolutely don't want you to go in, grab something, check out, you're out the door. They don't want it to be a 5-minute process. And if your checkout time takes less than a couple of minutes, they're failing because now you're thinking it's easy just to go grab something and go. They don't want it to be easy for you to grab something and go. They want it to be hard for you to grab something and go so that you don't just go in there and grab something to go. you go in there with a basket of stuff. And I'm not going to go in there for just one thing. I'm going to go in there and get a whole fucking load of stuff because it's going to take me 20 minutes. I don't want to have to keep coming in here for one thing because every time I come in here for one thing, it's going to be 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm going to spend an hour standing in line over the course of a week coming in to get bread and then coming in to get eggs, then coming in to get milk, then coming in to get cheese. That's 4 trips to Walmart. That's an hour standing in line. But if you got all of it at the same time, it's 15 minutes and you're back out the door, right? So Walmart wants you to go in there and buy as much as possible. So they don't have any cashiers, so you're going to stand in line forever. And if you do get a cashier, it's going to be you because it's going to be self-checkout. And you're the most incompetent cashier that they can possibly have. That's why they don't pay you, because you're the most incompetent cashier that Walmart can bring in to run the cash register. That's why you'll never get paid. You ever get stuck behind somebody else at the self-checkout line? These people are fucking idiots. They don't know. They're like, oh, there's a UPC code on this? I don't know what. And they're like banging it against their head. And you're like, that's not how the scanner works, you fucking idiot. Walmart people are sometimes challenging to deal with. Anyway, and don't get me started on these fuckers in the fucking parking lot, walking around like they got no place to go, no place to be. It's a parking lot, not a fucking park. People, move your ass. Quit walking in front of cars. Get the fuck out of the way. Jesus Christ. There's cars driving here looking for a place to park, and you're just wandering around looking at your fucking phone, talking to me. Get out of the way. Jesus Christ. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, these EV chargers. So they don't want you just to plug in and get an extra 30 miles, 60 miles. They don't want you to be boom, boom, in and out 15 minutes. If you're going to plug into that thing, they want you to go into the store, spend time in the store, buy shit in the store, then come back out to your car. They want you to have to spend an hour to an hour and a half in their store. And on top of that, they don't want to spend a lot of money on their stupid EV thing, especially if it means you're going to show up, charge up, and leave. They want to spend as little money as they need to get a thing that looks like they're doing something, and it makes you spend time in their store. They definitely don't want you to leave in 15 minutes. They don't want you to charge up, for one. But if you are going to charge up, they want you to be there for an hour, because the longer you're there, the more likely you're going to spend money. And the more likely you spend money, the more likely you spend more money. Lots of money. That's the idea. Because Walmart isn't a fucking charitable institution. They're a capitalist institution. They want you to spend money in their store. No company wants you to show up and not spend money. They want you to spend money. That's how they pay their bills. That's how they pay their shareholders. They want you to show up and spend money. So, this guy bitching and moaning, he's like, oh, these EV stations, it's greenwashing. They suck. Yeah, part of it's greenwashing, but also part of it's commerce. Like they want it to appear that they've done what they need to do by putting these electric charging stations out in front of their store, but they also want you to come into the store. They want you to come into the store. They don't want you to sit in your car reading a book with the windows down, chilling out in the parking lot. They want you to roll up the windows, leave the book behind, go in the store, and buy some zingers and ding dongs and ho-hos and whatnot, all the other nonsensical shit that they sell at the grocery store or the Walmart. They want you to buy another basket of flowers to put in another nook in your fucking house that you don't need. Well, not that you don't need the house. You don't need the basket and the nook. You don't need the nook and you don't need the basket. But they want you to sell the shit. They want you to spend the 15, 20, 30 bucks on the nonsensical crap. Buy a stack of pillows. Buy another TV. Buy. That's what they want you to do. Get a shirt that says sexy. You're not sexy, but you're going to get a shirt that says sexy. And maybe people will look at the shirt and go, oh, that 600-pound gorilla is sexy. No, they're not going to say that. But they're going to look at the shirt and they're going to go, oh, maybe the shirt's sexy. Because it's like stretched all across you. Is it like malformed because your body's lumpy in places that are unexpected? At least mine is. I don't know. Maybe you are sexy. Maybe you're just wearing the oversized T-shirt with the bikini stenciled on it as an irony, an ironic thing. Because really, underneath that oversized T-shirt that goes down to your knees, you really are wearing a bikini, and you look better than the body that's shaped on the. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you be you. You live your life. I don't know. But anyway, what I was saying is they want you to go inside. They don't want you to sit out. That's the same thing with the internet. connection going into the rural areas. They want to show that they've done it. They've spent the money on that, but they certainly haven't spent all the money on that. No. They've spent as little money as they possibly can on that service being provided to the last house on the edge of the cornfield in the middle of fucking Kansas, to make sure that those people have access to the main trunk line that goes from New York to LA. But yeah, Jesus Christ, they don't want to provide actual service. They have to. They don't want to. And any service that they provide is going to be the bare minimum, basic that gets provided. Anyway, so where are we? They also split the Colorado River in two. What? Split the Colorado River. It's called all kinds of things. Anyway, I don't know what this means. That they split the Colorado River in two. I don't know what that means. Tax on tax on top of tax on top. Services aren't free. Yeah, for as much as libertarians and conservatives bitch about liberals wanting stuff for free, the people who bitch most about paying for services are libertarians and conservatives, because they're like, you're just taxing us to blah, 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 blah. Like, that's how you fucking pay for services. Like, the people that bitch most about people wanting stuff for free are the people that don't want to pay for the stuff that they get. It's like, how the fuck do you expect to pay for the shit that you use and do if you're not going to pay for taxes? Man, that irony always cracked me up. That the liberals were like, our tax dollars should go to doing this, and this. And then libertarians and conservatives are like, oh, you just want free stuff. Like, no, literally, we just said our tax dollars should go to A, B, C. Not that A, B, and C should be free and we want free stuff, but that our tax dollars that we're already paying. Meanwhile, libertarians and conservatives are like, oh, they're just taxing us to get more money. They should less taxes and more services. Like, how the fuck are you going to pay for the services? How the fuck are you gonna pay for the services if you don't take money to pay for the services? The money has to come from somewhere. Where the fuck's the money gonna come from? Oh, we'll just cut taxes and that'll increase revenues. That literally has never happened. Cutting taxes has never increased revenues. You'd have to, if you cut taxes from 25% to 20%, let's say, you would have to increase your revenues by in order to make up that 5% reduction, which is really a 20% reduction in taxes. You'd have to increase your revenues by, in order to make it up, 20%, 25%. 25% of 100 is 20, or 25% of 100 is 25. If you're making 100 and you cut your taxes to 20, in order to get 25, you have to increase your revenue to 125 to get back up to 25, right? 125 times 0.2, yeah. So you'd have to increase your revenue by 25%, and that never happens. and it never happens. But anyway, yeah. See, that's the thing. Home internet service is usually more about the download speed and less about the upload speed. They don't really give a shit what you can upload. They don't care if you upload anything. They're almost always more concerned about the download speed. So you can have big fat open pipes downloading stuff, but very constricted and restricted upload speeds. That's how my old home service was. Upload speeds, especially over Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi uploads sucked, but Wi-Fi download speeds were great. Wi-Fi upload speed sucks. Let me see what the who the fuck is that? Do I have the photo now? Photo, not yet. I have it available, but you haven't approved my request for my request to follow you. So no, I haven't gotten the photo yet. I'll get it eventually. Yep, Walmart always gets their unionization efforts crushed because they have a lot of operations in China, and they'll be damned if they're going to allow unionization in the United States because that might lead to I don't know, it might lead to something. They're already unionized in China, as far as I know, because China's kind of a collectivist country to begin with. The charger at home. Most home chargers take over half the day to fully charge the average. Yeah, I mean the home chargers are basically designed for you to come home, plug it into the wall, and leave it overnight, and you charge up overnight and get into the morning. Um, and the home chargers will still charge faster than the superchargers at businesses, unless you pay money for the chargers at the businesses, because you pay money for the supercharger, and then you get like supercharged into the thing. But I never had that issue at Walmart of the slow checkouts. Oh, our Walmarts here are fucking notorious. They're slow as hell. We don't have a booze section at our Walmarts in Texas, not yet, at least. Funny loophole with that, like retailers. Uh, The rule in Texas is you can't be a publicly traded corporation and have a liquor license to sell booze. All of our liquor stores are privately owned. There are no publicly traded corporations in Texas. Uh, uh, but there was a liquor store that went bankrupt, and Walmart bought that liquor store out of bankruptcy. So there's a loophole that is now being explored in the state of Texas that Walmart may own a liquor store that was bankrupt and will be able to sell liquor through that liquor store if that purchase gets approved. So it is very interesting to see. Very interesting to see what is going to come of that in the state of Texas. Um, but yeah, that strategy of going to another checkout, like in the electronics department or something, at Walmart only works if they have people there, and they don't always have people at the electronics department in our Walmart here, in these suburbs of Houston. It is a very badly run. It is a very badly run store. Um, oh, looky there! My brother's in the house. Cheers, Harry. Welcome to the party. Uh, and yes, I am still awake. We did. What time is it? Shit, it's 12:45. So we did trivia from 9 to about 11. And then from 11, it's 12:45. I'm only about 5 minutes behind in chat. Um, Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine. I saw that. That beautiful bastard Ryan Reynolds has been all over the internets with Deadpool 3. Hugh Jackman returning for whatever it is. I don't know if it's a cameo or if it's a full scene with Wolverine, but it's a thing, and yeah, that beautiful bastard Ryan Reynolds all over the internets promoting Deadpool 3. Yeah, see, that's the thing about the Laffer curve. It works on paper. It works with math, but I mean, the last time it was when you cut taxes to increase revenue, what ends up happening is you decrease revenue so that you have to cut services. This has been a tried and true methodology of called choking, starving the beast, and that's the real the real strategy. And see, math actually is a strong suit, but what you should try doing is being honest. Because the last time this was done was in Kansas when they slashed taxes in Kansas, and it was just done like 3 years ago. They slashed taxes in Kansas and they upended the budget, created a huge fucking deficit, and then next thing you know, they have to start cutting services because that's the conservative utopia. And it absolutely does not work. There's a point at which you cannot cut revenue or cut the means to generate revenue in order to increase revenue. Otherwise, what companies would do is they would continue to cut prices on their on their goods and services. But companies don't cut prices on their goods and services. In fact, what we've seen in the last 6 months is companies increasing the prices on their goods and services in order to increase revenues and profits. And that's what we have seen over the last 6 months, steadily and continuously. Just like with the idiot bullshit logic that more insurance companies decreases the cost of insurance. It doesn't do that. That's why insurance companies consolidate insurance. They consolidate. They don't split their companies up into smaller and smaller units. They buy smaller companies and bring them together because the more people who have insurance under the roof of a single house, the cheaper it is to provide insurance under a single policy, under a single brand. This is like reality. Unfortunately, see, this is the problem. Reality and rhetoric, reality and ideology. When your ideology is garbage, they don't fit, and then you end up with this cognitive dissonance that you possess, and then you have to retreat into this silly nonsense of, oh, math has never been your strong suit. Well, actually, math is it really is my strong suit. So it's also telling the truth is kind of important too. But we've had this conversation before. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, and it is what it is. If you cut taxes, if you cut the tax rate by 30%, then you have to increase your revenues by much more than that. And in a world where your GDP grows by 5% or 6%, and you're going to expect it to suddenly grow by 25%, like reality doesn't do that. Like, when has that ever happened? Ever? I mean, unlike the it's really easy to write. It works every time. It doesn't. It never has. It's never done it. Just cutting taxes by 20% does not magically increase your GDP 5 times over. It just doesn't happen. Never. If your GDP growth is 3 to 5%, and then you're going to expect it to grow 25% just magically. It literally never happened. People who say it works every time can never, ever, 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 ever point to a single time when it has worked. And that's, see, math has never been your strong suit, apparently. That's why you do writing. But there you go. Sunflowers, actually, he's my brother. So, there you go. You're in Dallas. They do have beer and wine in Walmart. Yes, they do. Beer and wine in Walmart. That is 100% correct. Beer and wine can be sold by corporations, but love you too, Harry. It's good to see you. I'm glad you came into the show. I appreciate it. I absolutely do appreciate it. And we'll probably, I don't know, probably only going to go about 30 more minutes because it's 1:30, and I'll likely be live streaming from the distillery at some point tomorrow. But there you go. Walmart. I once had to get my mom something smelled rotting fruit. Gross. The idea of selling liquor in a grocery store is not foreign in most of the parts of the country. it is foreign to Texas. They don't sell liquor in grocery stores in Texas. Even the Costco where you can buy liquor, they have a liquor store in Costco. The liquor store is separate from the Costco. They have a separate entrance. It's attached to the Costco, but there's a separate entrance to the liquor store, both on the inside and the outside. And many of the liquor stores at Costco in Texas are run by a company called Frontier Beverage. And there's a grocery chain in Texas called Fiesta, and Fiesta has a Fiesta liquor that's attached to Fiesta, but again, a different company owns Fiesta liquor than Fiesta groceries. They're two distinctly separate entities. So so yeah, there you go. The mute button. I wish you had some 4 years ago. You're such a dick. Oh my god. Oh, by the way, next time you're here in town, I will have some Boomtown bourbon available for you. And or the next time I'm up in Dallas. I'm not sure which is which. By the way, he's up in Dallas. And when I go up to Dallas to do tastings, I generally stay at his place. So Sam or Nate, or not Nate, Sam or Lone Star, or any of those other guys, Chad, any of those other guys up there. When you see me up in the Dallas area doing tastings, shoot me a message. We'll get together. I can feed you some booze, because I generally have some. Because that's why I'm up in Dallas usually, is to sling some booze around. He loves me, but he wants to meet me. Yeah, that's how it goes. Well, yeah, I mean, Twisted. I know you're up there, and I rub Lone Star's nose in it all the time. The last time I was up there, we were doing testing for our rye. This was right before the rye was released. I was doing the final testing. We were kind of zeroing in on the flavor and the style that I wanted for the rye. And I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, I just finished my tasting. Do you want a sample of this rye? I can feed you some." And he's like, "Nah, I'm kind of busy." I'm like, "All right, fine. Fuck you. You're not going to get any of this." And the rye's not available up in Dallas yet. And he had a chance to drink some of the rye before it was released, before it was available. He had a chance to have it. I had a bottle, and yeah, I'm gonna tease him forever, because he had the opportunity. He had the opportunity to get an exclusive sample of our highly experimental, soon to be released rye whiskey. And he was like, "No, I can't, man, blah, blah, blah." Like, you know what? Fair enough. Do your thing. Enjoy your meal. Have a great night. Everything's cool. And every chance I get, I remind him that he whiffed on that possibility. He had it sitting there right in front of him. And instead of saying, all he needed to do was say yes. All he needed to do was say yes. And he chose to say anything other than that. And he has not had it. He had a chance to, though. He unlike a lot of people, there's plenty of people up in Dallas who haven't had the opportunity to try the rye. It hasn't been available. They haven't had the opportunity. But he singularly had the opportunity, and he didn't even take the bat off his shoulder. He chose to watch the pitch. So, yeah, I like picking on him about that. And I remind him that to this day, the rye was released almost a year ago, and to this day, he still hasn't had it. I thought it would be available in Dallas by now, but they haven't expanded it. Specs hasn't expanded it. Total Wine will be, from what I've talked with my distributor and talked with Total Wine, they will be expanding it next year. I don't know if Specs will. They haven't decided yet. But I'll keep everybody posted about that. But yeah, You follow me on the Facebooks, Facebooks and on the Twitter. If you follow me on the Twitter, when I have my schedules for outside of Houston, I usually post it up there and let people know that I'm coming to their town with a bag full of goodies to spread joy and good cheer to all the boys and girls. But with that, guys, it really is. It's 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock. It's time for me to have my parting shots, I suppose, and start to wrap this up. Tomorrow night, 5 to 10 p.m., we're open to the public. You can come out and join us at the distillery. We're going to watch some football. It's a AAC matchup between the University of Houston Football Cougars and the Tulane Green Wave. It should be a boat race. The University of Houston should beat the absolute piss out of these guys. We will be giving a round of drinks for the first touchdown scored by the University of Houston. I will not be giving a round of drinks for every touchdown because I expect we will be scoring about 5 or 10. That's a lot of rounds of drinks. But come out and hang out with us. I will likely be live streaming early in the day tomorrow as well. We have three projects, count them, 3 projects that I'll be working on tomorrow. No, he doesn't have any stories whatsoever, Sunflower. Shut up. I will mute you. I've got I've got a merch box that I'm working on. I've got we're going to be drawing out where the walls will be going. I don't know if I'll be doing that tomorrow, but that's like on the list of things to do. I've got I mean, there's plenty of projects that need to be done that have to be had at the distillery, and I'll be working my way through a few of them. We've got a lot of pallets that need to be busted down still. I've got my tech booth that needs to be I've got my tech booth that needs to be built. That's probably the one project that I'll start on tomorrow. As a matter of fact, building the booth for my production booth for the Friday Nights Live. And next Friday, a week from tomorrow, Mike Gallo will be performing at the distillery. Wednesday we'll have so Saturday, 2 days from now, I'm going to Enchanted Rock. I'm going to record a lot of footage for Enchanted Rock because the Old Humble Distilling Company's whiskey is the official whiskey of campouts, cookouts, good times, and great stories. So I will be recording a lot of footage from Enchanted Rock with our whiskey. It's a Boy Scout trip, so it'll be like clandestine recordings and stuff like that. But that's fine. I'm a rebel. I do stuff like that. But I get back in town Wednesday. So next Wednesday's show is going to be kind of I don't know what next Wednesday's show is going to be. I haven't decided yet, but it's going to be kind of put together on the fly. And then Thursday trivia, and then Friday Mike Gallo. So next week's going to be a tight week, but we're going to make it happen. And yeah, we'll just have a bunch of fun. We're just going to have a bunch of fun in the next 7 days. Bear with us as we entertain, or try to entertain. Bear with us as we do YouTubes. Enjoy the shorts. Enjoy all the stuff. Just, I really, and like I said, I appreciate the growth we've had. We're at 827. When we hit 1,000, I fight a kangaroo. Yeah, you heard that right, Harry. I'm going to go fight a fucking kangaroo. And let's have our parting shot. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, this has been a fun show. You guys, Lone Star's changed. How's he changed? He's started doing more TikTok, but we'll talk more about that later. Think with your old brain, love with your old heart, be awesome to each other, and until we see you next week, or until I see you tomorrow, well, until I see you tomorrow, I suppose. Yeah, just be awesome to each other. Cheers, guys. Boop. From us here in Humble to you out there in the internets, Until next time, cheers and good night. This has been an award-winning production